A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Jerry, at Fair Oaks.
I was looking for you just a minute ago. Oh, where'd you go?
To the library. I wanted to look up something for history class.
Oh, say, Lee, who do you suppose this Mr. X is that Harold's dad and Mr. Layton are going to bring here?
Search me. I'm just as much in the dark as you are.
They certainly did make it sound mysterious.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see. You going down to the aeronautics class?
Oh, say I am. I wouldn't miss it for anything.
Say, how was riding practice today?
Swell. We've really got a good team, Lee. We're getting so now that we can all take the jumps together without looking to see if the next man is going over. Sergeant Alden says we go over the hurdles as one man.
Well, how's Splendor?
Oh, great. Gee, he looks swell as pivot horse. Sergeant Alden took him out a few times, and now he's really got him trained. Splendor stands in the middle of the line without moving a muscle. I don't even have to touch the reins for commands. He turns and pivots just the way I lean my weight.
Say, that's okay.
Okay. It's perfect, Cadet Phillips.
Who are you taking credit for, you or the horse?
For the horse and Sergeant Alden. I didn't know it before, but the sergeant told me that a really good show horse like Splendor doesn't have to be guided at all by the reins. The rider doesn't have to touch him. He just leans one way or the other or presses with his knees, and the horse obeys.
Well, have they set a definite date for the meet?
Sergeant Alden won't tell us. He just says we've got a lot to do to get ready. It looks to me like we are ready.
Well, he knows what he's doing. Say, let's take a walk over to Mac's place, huh?
Okay. I bet he's still talking about the excitement.
Yeah, I bet he is, too. Every cadet in the school cornered me and started to ask me questions about it.
Yeah, they did me, too. I'm kind of tired of talking about it.
Yeah. Well, here's Custis Hall.
Uh-huh.
Say, the new cadet should be here by now.
Oh, yeah. The one Red Morrison went to meet.
Say, don't you think it was funny that Major Davis sent Red to meet him?
Why?
Well, after all Red's done, it seems to me that somebody else would have been better.
Oh, I think I know why Major Davis sent him, Lee.
You do? Why?
Well, since they're going to keep Red here at Fair Oaks, I think Major Davis wants him to forget all about what's happened. The business about Splendor and the running away and all that. It'll kind of make Red feel that he can get a brand new start. Nobody will rub it in.
I wonder if it'll work with Red.
What do you mean, you wonder if it'll work?
Well, look, Jerry. When he was demoted for putting Tubby Young under the shower, he looked as though he might turn out okay. But he rescues Harold from drowning, gets back his captain's bars, and turns right back into the same bullying Red Morrison he was before. Then he loosens the cinch strap on Splendor and gets Paul Warren hurt badly. Well, after that, it didn't seem as though he'd do anything more. But on the night of the treasure hunt, he runs away. Well, you see what I mean?
Yeah, but I still think Major Davis knows what he's doing. Maybe he figured it out that punishing Red wasn't the right way to straighten him out.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're right. Because I've got a sneaking suspicion that if Red Morrison could be straightened out in the right direction, he'd be a swell fella.
You know, I thought the same thing. Because even when he was at his worst, you had to give him credit for being a fine athlete and all that.
Yeah. Well, I hope we're right, Jerry. Well, come on, let's get going.
Hey, wait, look.
Where?
Towards Major Davis's office. Isn't that Red Morrison coming out now?
Yeah, it is. See, I guess that's the new boy with him.
Uh-huh. Kind of big, isn't he?
No, just a little taller than I am.
They're coming down this way. You want to wait for him?
Mm-hmm, yeah, I think it'd be kind of nice to get acquainted with a new cadet.
We might take him along with us over to Mac's place.
Sure, it's a good idea. Might as well. I mean, the new cadet is Scotch, and so is Mac.
They ought to get along swell.
Here they come. Hiya, Red.
Hello, Red.
Jerry, I want you to meet Bruce Dow Campbell. He's going to be with us here at Fair Oaks.
Oh, that's swell. How are you?
Hi, Bruce.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Gentlemen.
Well, we hope you'll like it here at Fair Oaks, Bruce.
Oh, thank you, mister. I don't believe I caught the last name.
Phillips. But call me Lee, will you?
Thank you, Mr. Phillips.
My last name is Dugan, but I wouldn't know you were talking to me unless you called me Jerry.
I'll try to remember that, Mr. Dugan.
I was just going to show Mr. Dow Campbell around. Want to go with us?
Yeah, sure. We thought we'd like to take Mr. Dow Campbell over with us to Mac.
Sure, Mac's Scotch. You ought to get along swell with him, Bruce.
Scot.
Huh?
I'm a Scot, not a Scotchman.
Oh, what's the difference?
A Scot is never called a Scotchman.
Oh. Well, wouldn't you like to meet Mac?
I should be delighted.
Okay, come on. You're coming too, aren't you, Red?
Sure, I'll go along. Mr. Dow Campbell's going to be my roommate.
Oh, swell. Well, come on.
We're looking right down on Fair Oaks Avenue, Bruce.
Quite nice.
It's a pretty little town, don't you think so?
Charming.
Charming?
Jerry.
Mr. Dow Campbell has just come over from India.
You're not sunburned.
Sunburn.
I was just kidding. But I thought that anyone who just came from India would have a swell coat of tan.
Oh, really? For in India, one doesn't go out in the sun if he values his health.
The sun is too strong, isn't it?
Yes.
See, I'll bet it's interesting in India.
Oh, quite.
Your father is a colonel in the Black Watch, isn't he?
We prefer to call the regiment the Royal Highlanders.
Oh, doesn't anyone call them the Black Watch?
Sometimes.
Hey, watch the arch, you plebe.
Oh, yeah. See you on the sidewalk, Bruce. We're not allowed to go through the little arches. Oh, are you going to be an upperclassman?
Oh, I believe that was the designation Major Davis gave me.
Well, we'll join you on the pavement outside.
Okay.
Come on, Jerry.
Gee, he doesn't talk much, does he?
Well, he's strange here, Jerry. He'll loosen up after a while.
Yeah, I guess so. He sure...
Well, here we are again.
You like Mac, Bruce. He's a smart man, isn't he, Lee?
Yeah, I'll say he is.
He invented an altimeter for a plane.
The only trouble was that somebody invented it first.
Well, it took brains to figure it out, even if somebody else did come out with it just a little before Mac.
Oh, sure.
Mr. Dow Campbell, are you interested in airplanes?
I hadn't thought much about it.
Well, wouldn't you like to think about it?
Perhaps.
Because we're going to have a course in aeronautics here at Fair Oaks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. Well, here's Mac's place.
My word. Quite a lot of things in here.
Oh, yeah. Mac carries everything you need from ice cream to ice skates.
I wonder where he is.
He's probably in the back fooling around with his chemicals.
Is he doing that now?
Uh-huh. He's going to invent something.
Hey, Mac! Oh, Mac!
He must have stepped out in the backyard for a minute.
I guess so. Well, we might as well sit down.
Yeah. Sit between us, Bruce.
Oh, thanks awfully.
You're welcome.
Well, did you have a nice trip on the train?
Pardon?
I said, did you have a nice trip on the train?
Oh, yes, rather. Oh, dusty.
Yeah, it is, kind of. You'll have to come up to our room sometime, Bruce, and tell us all about India.
Not much to tell.
Not much to tell about India? Oh, you're kidding.
I beg pardon?
Lee means you're trying to joke about it.
Oh, that I'm pulling his leg.
Boy, that's a new one.
That means kidding in English, I guess.
I can see where we're going to have to get together and learn to talk.
Jerry, for the love of mine.
Oh, quite all right, Mr. Phillips. I had a rather difficult time understanding some of your vernacular.
Oh, boy, that's a $10 word.
Jerry, you're impossible.
No, just friendly. Say, Mac's never going to do any business this way. Hey, Mac!
Oh, lads, I'll be right with you. Just bung in a little trash. I'll be right with you.
Now, take your time, Mac.
No. I can do it.
Oh, Mac, this is Mr. Bruce Dow Campbell. He's a new cadet here at Fair Oaks.
Oh, well, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'm glad to know you, Bruce. Mighty glad.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mac's full name is William McLeod, owner and manager of this establishment. But we call him Mac.
Aye, that you do. And a good thing it is. Bruce, would your family be of the Heelan Campbells of Breadalbane, Argyll, or perhaps of Codder or Luton?
None. We're of the Locknell Campbells.
Oh, aye, the Locknell Campbells. A fine Heelan family.
Thank you.
Eh? Oh, yeah, that's all right. It's all right. Now, lads, what do you have?
Bruce, what's yours?
Do you have tea?
Holy smoke. I read about it, but I didn't believe it.
Jerry.
Tea, well, and I guess that can be brought around. I hear a bit of tea myself this time of day. I'll hear you some in a jiffy, Bruce. Jerry, Lee, Red, what's yours?
Make mine chocolate ice cream.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, strawberry.
Chocolate, too, and a strawberry. Your tea I'll hear in a moment, Bruce.
Thank you.
Mac's ice cream is the best in town, Bruce. You ought to try it.
Oh, thank you. I shall sometime.
Say, do you go in for any athletics?
Athletics?
Yeah, you know, football, baseball, swimming, rowing.
Oh, well, I did play a bit of rugby in England, but I was there for only a short time, so I couldn't get very much attached to the game.
Rugby?
Yeah, it's like football, Jerry.
Oh.
Quite.
Well, here we are, lads. One strawberry, 2 chocolate, and 1 tea. Oh, Bruce, you'll be letting the little bag stay in the hot water a wee bit longer than ordinary. The tea might be a bit weak.
Thank you, it's satisfactory.
Many's the time I've held the Campbells of Locknell, Bruce.
Bruce's father is a colonel in the Royal Highlanders.
Well, no, you didn't be telling me. Oh, many's the time I've had the scare of their bagpipes and looked out to see them going past.
Maybe you'll tell us something about them. Won't you, Bruce?
There's really nothing much to tell.
Why, Bruce, there's lots of things to tell. Lucknow.
That was in the line of duty, Mr. McLeod.
Oh, yes. Yes, so it was.
If you don't mind now, Mr. Morrison, I think we'd be better getting back. I've got to unpack my kit. Do you mind?
No, no, sure not. See you later, Jerry and Lee.
How much do I owe you for the tea, Mr. McLeod?
Oh, well, no. As the boys here will tell you, the first time a cadet comes to Fair Oaks, the treat's on Mac, on me.
Oh, no.
Oh, but it is, lad.
I'm sorry, but I insist upon paying.
Oh, you don't get it, Bruce. Mac always treats.
I'm sorry, but I'm perfectly capable of paying my own. How much, please?
Well, if you're... 10 cents.
Thank you. There you are.
Well, come on, Mr. Dow Campbell.
Yes. I shall see you gentlemen later. I'm happy to have met you, Mr. McLeod.
The same to you, Mr. Dow Campbell. The same to you.
See you later.
Yeah, so long. See you after recall.
Well, how do you like that?
Hey, what's the matter with him anyway?
Gee, Mackie, he insisted on paying for the tea.
Aye, but didn't let that be worrying you, lads.
I can see where he's going to get himself nice and disliked here at Fair Oaks.
Oh, no, lads, didn't be judging too hastily. You can, there's an old saying, and a good one, that goes like this. Judge not a man from sight alone, for the outward dinna show the inward.
Meaning Bruce might be all right inside.
Aye, exactly that, Lee.
Well, I don't know. Something tells me we're going to have a little trouble with Mr. Bruce Dow Campbell.
and its 98,000 dealers bring you Mr. Richard Widmark in tonight's presentation of Suspense.
Tonight, Autolite presents the true story of a world of the dead. It's the documented account of one man left alone on a tiny Pacific island, a wasteland of no living thing, an island made up of 3 square miles of fear. The story is called How Long Is the Night? Our star, Richard Widmark.
Hello, Mr. Wilcox.
Well, frost my beard and call me Winter if it's not Johnny Plugcheck.
Yep, I'm here again. And you know what that means.
I sure do, Johnny. It means I start reminding motorists to winterize, get their cars tuned up, get a change of oil and grease, put in antifreeze.
And check those spark plugs, too.
Right, Johnny Plugcheck, because spark plugs are the very heart of a car's ignition system. And when they're right, your chances for starting, even in the coldest weather, are better than ever. So, with cold driving days ahead, visit your nearest Autolite spark plug dealer. If replacements are needed, he'll recommend those world-famous ignition-engineered Autolite spark plugs, either standard or resistor type. To quickly learn the location of your nearest Autolite spark plug dealer, phone Western Union by number and ask for Operator 25. And remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite presents transcribed How Long Is the Night? A true story starring Mr. Richard Widmark, and hoping once again to keep you in suspense.
It was no different than any other night. It was hot. The same warm wind blew up from the south end of the island. Along the west beach, a line of dirty white foam spread out where the breakers came up on the sand. The moon had already gone down. Across the lagoon, there was nothing. No lights, no sounds. It was the same as the day before. The same smell hanging over the water and the land. The smell of a world gone dead. They came and woke us up a few minutes before 3 a.m. The 3 of us got dressed and they gave us breakfast. We checked our equipment, then we took our positions with the other men. We wore protective helmets with specially treated linings. Over the eyes, a pair of heavy-duty goggles. Jackets, trousers, gloves, all specially treated for protection. Our boots were spread with linings of lead. We waited. The dawn came up fast. I think it was about 5:30. We kept watching the horizon over to the east, a faint outline of an island. The warnings began to come in over the earphones.
Bomber Boy 1, 2 minutes before actual time. Mark, 2 minutes before actual time. Adjust all goggles. Stand by.
The month was May. It was beautiful. I took one more look before I strapped on the goggles. The blue water of the Pacific. The green islands near and in the distance. The islands of Enuitak. The month was May. A piece of the earth was getting ready to die.
Bomber Boy 1, 1 minute before actual time. Mark, 1 minute before actual time. Stand by.
A single bird passed overhead, pointing for the horizon. There was the faint barking of a dog. Then it was quiet.
Bomber Boy 1, 30 seconds before actual time. Mark, 30 seconds before actual time.
We waited for the split second. We waited for the sound of it.
Bomber Boy 1, 15 seconds before actual time. Stand by. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Body of the ocean heaved and shuddered. The island shook. The sky seemed to fill to the bursting point. We knew what it was like. The most powerful atomic bomb yet conceived. The man next to me turned and stared. His mouth was open. There was only one thing to say. He said,
Warner? Warner?
Yeah.
Dear God. Dear God.
That was the first one, but there were others. Our job was to photograph the results, everything. The tests ran into weeks, months. The islands of Eniwetok became a chain of black ruins, each of them festering with deadly radiation. After each explosion, we landed on the islands in the target area to photograph the remains. We got a first-hand look. It stayed with us. On the last day, I had two men working the cameras with me, Joe Harrison, Bert Pacelli, both good men. I couldn't blame either one of them. It just happened.
Don't take any chances, Warner. Be careful.
Yes, sir. Goodbye, sir. See you at Pearl. Joe, Bert, all right?
Yeah, okay.
All right, let her go. Now, what's with the old man?
Nothing, Joe. He told me to remind you to be careful. Don't take any chances.
Not as long as I'm in this neighborhood.
Atom bombs. Who needs them?
Quit moaning. You got 'em.
You check our Geiger counters this morning, Bert?
Yeah, good shape. Brought the extra camera, too, just in case.
Hey, have a look.
What?
Ship pulling out over there. Kind of lonesome, huh?
We'll be gone in the morning.
Hey, Warner,
Yeah?
what are they going to do? Are they going to leave anybody around at all after we take off?
Yeah, I suppose so, the Marine Guard. Why?
Oh, nothing. Just wondering.
Even the water looks bad. Enough hot stuff in it to bring it to a boil.
Well, what do you think, Warner? You figure the natives will ever be able to come back?
I suppose so. 10, 20 years, maybe.
What would they live on? I mean, the islands we covered already. Couldn't even find one green plant left. Everything burned to the roots. How would they live?
Take it to the chaplain, Bert. I only work here.
Dead land, dead water, nothing.
Give it time. Probably wear off.
That's the point.
What?
What happens if it doesn't?
That's the last thing I can tell you from memory. What was said, what was done. The rest of it's just as I put it down in the log. The last trip. Island 27. It's a few minutes past 1200. We've just landed at Transfer Point C. Most of the men have left here already. Skeleton crew standing by. There's one LST left at the landing pier. Harrison, Pacelli, and I move our camera equipment on board. 12:20. We clear the reef and head north for Island 27. Weather overcast.
Hey, that's it ahead, isn't it? 27?
Uh-huh. Joe, want to take her a couple of points starboard? We'll put her right up there, head of the beach.
Okay. Tough short take their time. Too bad the plane couldn't have brought us in closer.
Well, they still need landing strips. Brought us as far as they could.
Hey, Warner?
Yeah?
This is number 27. I thought it was on the fringe of the blast area.
That's the way I get it. Why?
Try your Geiger counter.
Kicking up?
Give a listen.
Yeah.
How about that? Warm dose for a fringe area.
Well, you got fair warning. As soon as we land, keep moving. Don't waste any time. Make it go as fast as you can. How about your sidearms, your canteen?
All okay, I'm set.
Yeah, same here.
With any kind of luck, we'll be back at the base for supper. All right, Joe, hold it steady.
Right.
What's the matter? You look worried.
I'm not worried.
It's just another island.
I'll feel better when we're leaving.
Hey, take it easy. Won't hurt a bit.
That's what they told them at Hiroshima.
$13.35. We've landed on Island 27. It's about a mile wide, 2.5, 3 miles long. It's like a dozen other islands we've covered in the test area. The same smell of death and dying. As usual, our lives depend on our Geiger counters. They measure the radioactivity bombarding us as we move through the contaminated area. When the clicking sound is slow, the location's fairly safe. When it speeds up, it means the radiation's getting intense. As soon as we landed on the beach, my counters started turning over. We keep moving. The beach is littered with the remains of birds and fish, the life scorched out of it. The sand is burned jet black. There's no breeze. The sky is still overcast. We stop moving only once to lay out a plan of operation.
What do you think? How do you want to cover it?
Well, Joe, you take the upper end of the island, huh? Cover everything down to that first inlet there. See what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
And Bert, you cover from the inlet down to here, okay?
Right.
I'll work everything from here down to the lower end. Now keep moving, but don't rush it. And try and keep in sight as much as possible. If anything happens, if you need help, fire your sidearms. 2 shots, got it?
Sure, right.
Okay, let's move. $13.40. We've started photographing the island. Each of us carry 3 cameras, 35 millimeter black and white, 16 millimeter for color, a 4x5 Graflex for the still shots. It's getting warmer. The overcast is starting to lift. In the sunlight, the island looks even worse, what's left of it. As far as I can see, Every last bit of vegetation is dead, scorched out. 100 yards back, I came across the remains of a wild pig. It must have been caught in a bomb flash. It's impossible to give you a description. 14:15. The sky's clear, no wind. It's quiet except for the ticking of my Geiger counter. I keep moving. There's not a breath of wind. It's hot. I have to keep moving. There's plenty to photograph, good specimens. I've just taken some color film of a piece of coral. Looked like portions of it were melted by the heat of the blast. 15:20. I heard the prearranged signal, and I hustled down to the beach. Harrison and Pacelli were coming toward me, waving their arms. Yeah? What's the matter?
Gotta talk to you. Nothing serious, Warren. It's gonna hold us up, though.
What's the matter?
Oh, we're short on film. You got any to spare?
No, I'm in the same spot. More stuff to shoot than we figured, I guess. You didn't leave any supplies in the boat, did you, Joe?
No, already checked it. I want to get something to eat. Getting a little hungry.
Guess we should have brought along some rations, huh?
Didn't figure it'd take this long. Well, all right, the two of you better take the boat and hustle back to the transfer point. Pick up some food, some more film.
Okay. Anything special you want?
A couple extra rolls of 16 color if they got it. Better make it fast if we're going to finish up today.
Right. Come on, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you sure you know the way back to our transfer point?
I think so. We go due south to Island 20, down the east side, the second inlet.
You got it. Meet you right here, about 1700, 1730.
Yeah. Hey, don't worry if we're a little late. We'll make it.
I watched the two of them climb in the boat, start up the engines, and head south to the transfer point. The boat gets small in the distance. In a few minutes, it's out of sight. 15:40. I'm alone on the island. I'm alone. $15:45. I found out a couple of minutes ago that there's something else alive on this island besides me. I spotted it moving in a charred tangle of brush about 50 yards inland from the beach. I took a look. It was a small bird, dark colored. Apparently, he'd been exposed in one of the test blasts. One whole side of him was a bright red burn. He had one leg and one wing. He floundered helpless on the ground. The one wing kept flapping. The first impulse was to pick him up. I reached over and held my Geiger counter directly above him. Wasn't anything else I could do. I killed him. $16:30. I've just shot the last of the film, and I'm back at our rendezvous point on the beach. Harrison and Pacelli haven't shown yet. I keep watching the horizon to the south. No sign of them yet. 1700. 17:30. Still no sign. 18:30. It's practically dark. Just a glimmer of light over in the west. 18:45. It's dark. Pitching. No light. No sound. Only the Geiger counter. I keep looking out in the darkness across the water. No sign of the boat. I can feel the panic starting in. Where are they? When are they coming back for me? Are they coming back at all?
Autolite is bringing you Mr. Richard Woodmark in How Long is the Night? Tonight's presentation, radio's outstanding theater of thrills, Suspense.
Friends, winter weather's coming fast, and if you want your car to last, you'd better hurry and be wise, for now's the time to winterize.
Right, Johnny Plugcheck. It's time for a change of oil and grease, antifreeze.
And check those important spark plugs, too.
Because they're the heart of your car's ignition system. And when they're right, your chances of starting, even in the coldest weather, are better than ever. If replacements are needed, your Autolite spark plug dealer will recommend Autolite resistor or standard type spark plugs. Both are ignition engineered, and both are original equipment on many makes of our finest cars. By the way, the Autolite resistor spark plug, with its exclusive built-in resistor, permits a wider gap setting, which makes possible advantages such as smoother engine performance, quick starts, and double spark plug life.
So winterize right now. Please do. And check those important spark plugs, too.
At your nearest Autolite spark plug dealers. And remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite.
And now, Autolite brings back to our Hollywood soundstage Mr. Richard Widmark in Elliot Lewis's production of How Long is the Night? A true story, well calculated to keep you in suspense.
It's been over 5 hours, maybe more. I don't know. My watch stopped half an hour ago. The radiation, I think. I haven't drunk any of the water from my canteen yet. I decided to go slow with it. I haven't got any idea how long I'll be here. I keep walking. There's not much feeling left in my legs. If I could only sit down just for a minute. But I can't. Gotta keep walking. The Geiger counter's the only thing that keeps me awake. That and the motion of walking. The moon's been up for about 2 hours now. It throws enough light to give me some idea where I'm going. I don't know how long it's going to last. There's a high bank of clouds drifting toward it. If I only had a light. If the boat had only come back for me. What could have happened? Why would they do something like this to me? I keep walking.
Hey! Hey, get out of here! Hey!
Well, it can't be that bad. It's impossible. There's nothing alive. We've been over the whole island. It's burned out. It's dead. But I heard it. I know I did. It couldn't have been the wind. There isn't even a breeze. Still there. It's hiding in the brush. Something alive. An animal? A man?
Hey, what is it? What is it?
It's gone. Somewhere back in the brush. I guess I scared it off with the gunshots. I start walking again, and the trembling in my legs works off. But my mouth and my throat, they're dry. I debate a few minutes before I reach for my canteen. Oh, it couldn't be. It couldn't. It's wrong. There's no mistake. Reaction is the same. It's no use. My drinking water. Radioactive. Still no idea what time it is. 2, 3 in the morning. I don't know. Hunger pains are getting in my stomach. I got a bad headache. Worst thing is my mouth and my throat. I'm so thirsty. The muscles in my legs are getting numb. Oh, if I can only sit down just for a minute. No, I can keep walking. Gotta stay awake. Keep walking. I'm somewhere inland now, north end of the island. A while back there, I thought if starvation sets in, I could always find something to eat along the beach, a dead bird or a dead fish. That illusion didn't last very long. They'd all be the same. Radioactive.
What?
I grabbed the gun flat in my hand. The sound came closer. I brought the gun back, and I threw it with all my might. And I missed. I turned. I ran. Seems like hours running. I was running. I stopped only once, about 20 minutes ago. My throat was so dry I couldn't get my breath. I reached for my Geiger counter a minute ago. Maybe it happened when I was trying to get away. It doesn't make much difference. Anyway, it's done. The counter's smashed. I'm here, finally. I'm at the beach. No, just in time, too. The moon's gone down. It's dark again, pitch dark. I don't care. There's nothing. There's no water, no food. The gun's gone. Geiger counter's smashed. It's gone. It's gone, everything. Followed me back. Still there. It's right up there in the brush. Right at the edge of the brush. It's waiting for me. But Jelly! Harrison, why don't you come? What happened? Why don't you come for me? What time is it? It's still dark. How long's the night? How long? What time? What time is it? 4 o'clock? 5? What time? Oh, it's just no use. Prayer. Yeah, say a prayer. Which one? Our Father who art in heaven. Hail Mary for us. Pray for us. I don't know how long it's been. I'm not sure. Edge of the sky looks gray, maybe getting light. I've gone down to the very rim of the beach. I'm facing inland, my back to the water. I haven't heard the sound lately. Last half hour, anyway. And I don't care. Look. Over there. Over in the east. It's gray. The whole sky. It's getting light. It's getting light. Charlie and Harrison, they come for me. I wasn't thirsty anymore. I wasn't hungry. I was alive. It was more than enough.
Hey, you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
A lousy boat conked out on us, Warner. Half a mile from transfer point. And had it fixed, it was dark. Wouldn't stand a chance of finding the island at night.
Hey, what's the matter? You sure you're all right?
You got your sidearms with you?
Yeah, why?
Up there. Straight ahead of you. Patch of brush. Want to take a look?
Why, what's the matter?
I don't know.
I'll give it a look. Hey, what's it all about?
I wish I could tell you.
What do you mean?
Hey, Warner, come here. Give it a look.
Come on.
Yeah, what'd you find?
Nothing. Just this wild pig here.
Wild pig?
Yeah, the islands are full of them.
I think he's still alive, see? Barely alive. Look at the flash burns, the skin. Pretty horrible.
Wild pig.
Yeah.
You want to take care of it, Joe?
Okay.
Rest in peace. Amen.
Huh? Warner, you sure everything's all right?
It's been a long night, Bert. Let's go home.
Anything we can do for you now? Anything you want?
Yeah. I want to sit down. I just want to sit down.
Suspense. A true story presented by Autolite. Tonight's star, Mr. Richard Widmark, will return in just a moment.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for Autolite, world's largest independent manufacturer of automotive electrical equipment. Autolite is proud to serve the greatest names in the industry. They are members of the Autolite family, as are the 98,000 Autolite distributors and dealers in the United States and thousands more in Canada and throughout the world. Our family also includes the nearly 30,000 men and women in 28 great Autolite plants from coast to coast and in Autolite plants in many foreign countries, as well as the 18,000 people who have invested a portion of their savings in Autolite. Every Autolite product is backed by constant research and precision built to the highest standards of quality and performance. So remember, from bumper to tail light, you're always right with Autolite. And now I'd like to present our producer-director, Elliot Lewis.
Thank you, Harlow. Dick, I'm very happy to announce that a poll of the regular radio performers who support our guest stars each week on Suspense has named you as the winner of the first annual Golden Mike Award as Best Actor of the year 1951 on our Theater of Thrills series. And here's something for the mantel over the Widmark fireplace, our Golden Mike Trophy.
Well, Elliot, this is one of the nicest things that ever happened to me in radio. And I just can't tell you how grateful I am. But I think a great deal of the success of all your fine suspense shows should go to the players who took part in this poll. Anyway, thanks a lot.
Next week, the winner of the Suspense Golden Mike Award for Best Actress, Miss Ann Baxter, who with song and story will tell of the death of Barbara Allen. The dramatization will be heard on Suspense. Suspense was transcribed and directed by Elliot Lewis, with music written by Lucian Morwick and conducted by Lud Gluskin. How Long is the Night was written for Suspense by James Mosier from A True Report by Warner Tobe, Jr. Featured in the cast were Jack Prussian, Joseph Kearns, and Herb Butterfield.
Richard Widmark's next starring release for 20th Century Fox will be My Pal Gus.
You can buy Autolite resistor or standard type spark plugs, Autolite St-Full batteries, and Autolite electrical parts at your neighborhood Autolite dealers. Switch to Autolite. Good night.
This is the CBS Radio Network.
Mutual presents Arch Oboler's Plays. The Mutual Broadcasting System has the pleasure of presenting a special 26-week series of plays by radio playwright Arch Oboler. In this series, we hope to bring you dramas full of the excitement and the meaning of plays told in relation to the expanding world in which we live. Tonight's play, especially transcribed for Don Lee listeners, is titled Mirage.
Linda.
Yes, Carl?
I've been looking for you.
And I for you.
Look, Linda, this party, it's getting a little too much for me. It's a great night. How about a little walk on the beach, huh?
All right. But quickly, before someone changes my mind.
Get your wrap?
No. I'll let the moonlight keep me warm.
Oh, that air's good.
Careful. Night air.
You know, I never could understand the hunters. They build this place here on the shore, and then when they give a party, they seal the windows hermetically. Here, down this path.
Yes.
Boy, that breeze off the sea is good. Don't you think so?
Thank you, Carl. I didn't come out here for the air. I've been very anxious to talk to you. Very.
That's flattering.
It won't be when you hear why I want to talk to you. Carl, I've always liked you.
And are you?
Liking you, I've tried to understand you as you are, but must you be so antisocial?
Antisocial, me?
The Rensselaers had a dinner party last night.
Oh, that. The office. I couldn't break away.
The Carters were expecting you the night before last at the theater.
Linda, I'm a businessman.
Carl, you can't disappoint people continually and expect them to have any regard for you.
My friends know I'm a busy man.
You and I belong to a set that demands certain social obligations from us.
I wonder if you know how pompous that sounds.
Pompous or not, it's the truth. Paul, you can't just ignore social obligations.
I'm here, am I not?
I thought you only last week at Pages.
Pages? Say, J.B. made a good thing out of International Motors last week. Must have cleaned up $250,000.
Someone mentioned your name, and this other person laughed and said, don't invite him unless you let him bring his stock ticker.
Idea in that.
I hear the same about you wherever I go, Carl. There isn't a man I know who spends as much time at work as you do.
If that's what I want, why shouldn't I?
Carl, understand me. I appreciate the importance of money. After all, you could find time for your friends. Why do you laugh?
I just remembered why I wanted to be alone with you.
Well?
I was going to lecture you.
What?
Lecture? Really, I was. I was going to tell you that you've been burning the social candle at both ends, or words to that effect.
Really?
You are, you know. Bazaars and style shows and all that nonsense. But you took the offensive, so I forgot what I wanted to say. And that reminds me...
You're remembering a great many things, aren't you?
Yep. One of the things was to tell you that you're looking very lovely tonight.
Oh. The man's human.
You're irritated with me, aren't you?
I am? Oh, Carl. You could be an utterly charming man if you forget your stocks and bonds and debentures and all the rest of that for a while and start enjoying life.
Linda, now you've got me irritated. Just because my idea of living doesn't include a room full of jabbering idiots.
I think we'd better go back.
Now, wait a minute. Linda, let's call a truce on this. After all, we're a couple of mature people. Let's act maturely and leave each other alone and enjoy the night. How about it?
You're hopeless. But, all right.
Good. We'll get off on safe subjects. The sea, the weather, the moon, June, the number of days to Christmas.
Exactly.
We'll start with the sea. Calm, isn't it?
Don't walk so fast, Carl. Please.
Oh, I forgot. The sand must be ruining your slippers.
No. The beach is packed so hard, I'm quite all right. Just don't walk too fast.
Right. Fine place the hunters have here.
They do have successful parties.
Hunter bought this place right before 29. Tried to unload it all through the Depression. Couldn't get even enough to cover the land value.
Did you hear about Ivy's debut? Margaret naturally wanted to have it at Claremont, but Tom insisted on that country place.
Ah, poor Tom. Dropped plenty on that amalgamated merger. Amazing. Man of his experience not knowing that you can't disturb the capital investment of an organization
Now,
without...
just a minute, Mr. Lawson. If you're thinking of starting on capital investments again, I'd better remind you that this conversation is limited to, remember? June, moon.
What moon?
Of all the inconsiderate clouds I ever... Carl, what are you staring at?
I can't quite make out. Do you see anything down there? Near the water's edge?
Why... Oh, yes. Yes, there is something there.
It's so dark.
Carl, it moves.
I saw.
Is it a dog?
I'm not sure.
Let's go closer.
No, Linda, wait. Linda, come back.
Carl, come quickly.
What is it?
Look. It's someone sitting on the sand.
Well, who in the world?
The drunk. Just someone who lost his way to the bar. Come on.
Oh, Linda, wait.
Wait for what?
I better see who it is and give him a hand.
All right. If you must play the Good Samaritan, go ahead.
I say there, fella.
What in the world is the drunken fool doing? Digging for clams?
I have to get closer. I say there, old boy. Going to get a little wet there when the tide comes in, aren't you?
Well, drunk and dumb.
I guess you're right.
Let's go on.
No, wait, please.
What?
The moon will be out in a minute. I want to see what he's doing. There. Now we'll... Why, it's an old man.
Writing in the sand.
What are you doing here?
Guess he just won't talk.
Well, how do you like that? Writing in the sand with the point of his finger.
Carl, I don't like this at all. Come away.
What is it?
Nothing. Nothing at all. It's this The old man wants to sit here in the dark, and the sand let him. Why does it concern us?
But what's he writing? I can't quite make out. No. The moon went under.
Carl, are you staying here?
Well, I'm sorry. I want to see what the man's writing. What are you writing, old man? Old man, don't you hear me talking to you?
Carl, you're being insufferable.
Linda, where's your curiosity? A deserted beach after midnight, an old man writing heaven knows what in the sand? Aren't you interested in knowing?
I'm not interested in maniacs. Who else but a psychopathic would sit
Linda,
here?
Linda, wait. The moon's coming through the clouds again. Now we'll see. You see it, too? He's writing names in the sand. Names of people.
Carl.
What is it, Linda? What did you say?
Face. Did you see his face?
No, I didn't see it. Linda, what's the matter?
His face.
What about his face? Oh, those blasted clouds, I can't see. Light again. Well, there's nothing wrong with his face.
I thought...
Well, he's just an old man. Must be a gardener writing names in the sand.
I want to know who he is.
Well, now you're curious.
I want to know who he is, Carl.
And I'm certainly going to find out. Old man, we insist on knowing who you are. Do you hear me, old man? We insist. No attention. Must be deaf.
Clouds covering the moon. The sea so green. Carl, I'm cold. Let's go in.
No, if that isn't like a woman, 1 minute you're curious and the next minute you're cold. The moon's bright now. Now we can look. Now look. You can see some of the names he's writing. John Barkley, March 2nd, 1941. Well, how do you like that? He wiped the name out, and he's writing another one.
James Ellison, March 2nd, 1942.
Wipe that out. Writing another one.
Name after name.
But why? Old man, can you hear me? Why?
What would he say?
Well, he's certainly not drunk. Eyes so bright, so intent on his work. And what work?
Carl, don't laugh.
What? What did you just say?
He seems so busy.
Linda, what is there about this old man that disturbs you? I think he's funny.
Carl.
A dirty little unshaven old man crouched over writing names in the sand with the point of his finger. That's a serious career, isn't it?
Oh, no.
A career for one's old age. No overhead, no competition, no profit. Sit in the open air and write in the sands of time. Linda, I tell you, when I get too old for Wall Street, I think I'll join this old man.
Carl.
Huh?
C-A-R. Look. Your name. He's writing your name.
Well, what do you know about...
C-A-R...
Well, the old fraud can hear.
Yeah.
He must have overheard you say my name.
Carl. Your last name. He's writing that, too.
But that's impossible. He doesn't
He
know.
is writing it. L-A...
My name. He doesn't know who I...
G... Oh, how slowly he forms each letter.
How does he know? Why does he write?
What is it?
I don't know. I feel sick.
Carl.
Don't let me fall.
Old man. Old man, help me. Oh, please help me. My friend.
It's finishing.
He's ill.
My name. I can't breathe.
Carl, I can't hold you up. Help me. Oh, someone, please help me. Carl. You're standing up again.
I feel all right.
What happened? Oh, why did you frighten me so?
My name. In the sand. Where?
The surf. It came in, wiped it out before you'd finished.
Old man, why did you write my name? How did you know who I was? Answer me. Why did you write my name?
What difference does that make? You're ill. Let's get back to the house.
No, I feel fine. Sudden dizziness, but I'm all right. I want to know how and why this...
He's writing again.
L-I-M. Your name. D-A.
Carl, take me home.
Wait. He can't possibly know your last name. J-E-F. He does know.
Carl, please, I don't...
F-E-R. Writing so slowly, as if he wasn't quite sure. But he does know it. Linda, how in the world do you imagine he knows? Linda.
Carl, help me.
Linda, what is it?
Hold me.
Yes. Yes, I'm holding it. Linda, in heaven's name, what is it? Linda. Linda. Linda.
Oh. Why are you holding me?
Oh, you were ill. Fainting.
I? What are you talking about?
Are you joking?
What is that a joke about? Please let go of me.
All right.
Oh, yes. My name. He was writing my name.
Yes.
Where is it? The sand. He's writing another name. Where's mine?
That wave must have washed it out before he finished.
Oh, I remember now. My heart. I couldn't see. Darkness. I was falling.
Yes. Falling.
Your face so white. Carl, why?
As he wrote my name, I felt as if I were dying. And then you felt that way, too, as he wrote your name, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
How cold it is here.
Cold.
He's still writing.
Oh, no.
The moon. Gone.
Carl, stay by me. Yes. He's still there?
Darker.
In the darkness. I can't stand it anymore. Oh, man. Who are you? Oh.
Linda, stay away from him. Don't.
No.
Linda, what is it?
No one.
What?
No one. Here.
But he was here. I saw him.
Carl. Find him. Find him and talk to him. I've got to know. I've got to know.
Old man. Where are you, old man?
There he is. There. Far down the beach.
We've got to catch him. Come. Old man. Wait. Old man.
Old man, wait. I beg you.
Old man, wait. I want to talk to you. No.
I thought...
There he is.
Where?
The other way at the edge of the water. Old man. Wait. Wait, old man.
Wait for me, Carl. Wait. Please wait. Carl. Why did you stop?
No one. I thought I saw. But there's no one. If only the moon came out again.
Find him for me, Carl. Find him for me.
You blasted moon, come out, come out.
Old man, please.
Linda.
I heard. What?
Linda.
You laughing?
Yes, of course I'm laughing. What we just heard, the wind. Our friends back at the house.
Friends?
Yes, friends. That wind and the sound of them talking, it cleared my head. I must have been out of my head all this time. And you too, Linda.
Our friends?
Yes, our friends. Back there, only a few hundred feet from here. Lights and music and reality.
This hasn't been reality.
Linda, all my life I've been a practical man. My life has been like my business. Everything has had debits and credits. This that's been happening to us, my head's clear now. I can think of it in practical terms.
Tell me.
We met an old man, writing in the sand.
He wrote my name.
And mine, too. All that was real enough. Now then, how does he know our names?
Yes.
Simple enough. You and I are not unknown. He must have been an old gardener on the estate here. Yes, that's it. He heard of us and then heard us call each other by our given names, and so he knew the rest of it.
But when he wrote our names...
Yes, I know. The dizziness, it's all quite easily explained. Back in the house, the air was bad, and we came outside, both of us nerves on edge, too much fresh air, dizziness followed. Oh, why talk about it anymore? Let's go back to the house.
Yes, Carl. Yes, quickly.
Now, careful, not so fast, you'll fall.
I'm all right. Faster, Carl. I want to get back.
A drink, that's what I need, a drink. 2 or 3, a dozen.
It's very dark.
In sun with clouds. Let's stay along the water's edge, easier to walk.
Yes.
A fantasy in the night, that's all it was. We let our imaginations run away with it. Imagine things that didn't exist.
Oh.
Why do you stop?
Oh, God.
Why are you pointing?
It's writing again. He's there. Writing again.
Old man. Old man!
Carl, don't leave me. It's so dark. Carl.
Gone again. Gone again.
Take me back to the house. Quickly. Oh, quickly, don't stand there. We'll run,
Wait. The moon. Shining down so strangely. Everything's so strange. Yes.
Carl. At the edge of the water.
What?
Our names.
Our?
Names. Our names in the sand. See them?
Yes.
There's a date written after my name.
And after mine.
I can't see the date. What?
A wave, it's coming. Linda, come back.
No, I've got to see.
Linda!
I saw.
I did. 2.
The date when I...
The date when I...
Oh, no.
No, it isn't true. It isn't. A date written in the sand, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't. Does it, Linda?
I didn't think it would be so soon.
You believe?
Yes.
I do, too, somehow.
But so soon.
No, I won't believe. I won't. I'm going to live a long time, 50, 60 more years. My family, they live long lives. My father, my grandfather. This can't be true.
Carl. Don't be so afraid.
You're not.
Oh, I am. And yet, somehow it's wonderful.
Wonderful?
Yes, wonderful. What every person in the world wants to know. We know. You and I.
It'll be spring that year. When I...
No, don't think of it that way. The wonder of it, Carl. Think of that.
I never thought much about the wonder of things.
How good the air is. Like wine. I've heard them call it that. I never believed a breath could be so wonderful.
If a man planned every minute that was left, how much he could do.
That's why I say it's wonderful, Carl. I know what I have left. I can plan the days, the hours, live each one because I know just how many of them I have Carl. Oh, Carl. I'm almost happy now.
Happy?
Yes. Yes, why not? Now I'll do the things I wanted to do. Yes. Every one. Listen to them back there. I never really wanted that car.
But you always...
Because that was the path my mother had gone. The one she led me to. But all the time, the snobbery of money. Those silly little family destinies. I wasn't happy because it wasn't what I really wanted. I knew that. But I went on because... Oh, because always there was a tomorrow. I said to myself, tomorrow, some new tomorrow, I'll start the life I want. I didn't know. Now I know my tomorrows. Oh, Carl, I've got to start now. And so I will. And so I'm happy.
What?
A child, Carl. Yes. I want a child. There. I've said what I never thought to say. How I used to laugh at people with their children. Such clever, brittle talk. And all the time, my heart was in my eyes. A child. Listen. On the wind.
Yes.
It's the music of the night, Carl. Oh, look up. The stars are singing. They know I'm free. For a little while, I'm free. And you, Carl? What will you do?
I? What will I do?
Yes. What will you do tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning. I'll go back to my business, of course. My business. No. No.
Why, you're holding me.
Yes, Linda. Linda, you and I, we've got to be together.
Oh, Carl.
You're right. There can be happiness in it. For these days and months we're free. I haven't ever been free, have I? The cage of my business, money. I am free now. Yes, I am. Travel, Linda, you and I. The world. We'll climb up to these singing stars of yours. When I was a boy, I always thought I'd do that. Travel. Travel. Free. This little world, all of it, mine to know and have. I thought there was plenty of time to start. Tomorrow, there'd always be a tomorrow for me. Yes, I was immortal. I thought that really. We do. Most of us do, don't we? Everybody else in the world would live their lives and die, but I, always inside of myself, I thought I'd live forever. And so I climbed into a cage and stayed there.
You're holding me so close.
You and I, Linda, together, free, until that day. Say it. Say it.
Oh, my dear. Why did it take death to teach us how to live?
You have just heard Miss Joan Blaine and Mr. Raymond Edward Johnson in Arch Oboler's play, Mirage. Next week at the same time, Mutual Don Lee will bring you the next play of the series. It is titled Profits Unlimited. The program notes state, this is a play about a future that should never happen. It is not about another war or atomic bombs, but about people and a strange inheritance. Directed and produced for Mutual Don Lee by Arch Oboler. Tonight's play by Arch Oboler was transcribed. This is the Mutual Don Lee Broadcasting System.
And now stay tuned for the mystery program that is unique among all mystery programs. Because even when you know who is guilty, you always receive a startling surprise at the final curtain. In the Signal Oil program, The Whistler. Signal, the famous Go Farther gasoline, invite you to sit back and enjoy another strange story by The Whistler.
I am The Whistler, and I know many things, for I walk by night. I know many strange tales hidden in the hearts of men and women who have stepped into the shadow. Yes, I know the nameless terrors of which they dare not speak.
And now for the Signal Oil Company, The Whistler's strange story, Whirlpool.
Marty South wasn't sure when it began. It was too much like walking in the middle of a nightmare, and then remaining in it, living in it. The shipwreck, the confusion, it was all there again, coming back to him, but slowly, hazily. And there was a strange buzzing in Marty's ears, pressure, and the sound of the sea, whirlpool of confusion. And then gradually out of the whirlpool, voices, dimly, faintly at first, but voices, growing, coming closer and closer.
Coming around? It'll be all right, Captain. It's the shot. It's closer.
But through it all, one thing seemed clear to Marty South, in focus. Those few swift minutes before the ship heeled over on its side, before he leaped for the lifeboat and missed, there was a girl. Yes, a girl standing in the companionway just outside her cabin. Marty remembered her face, her fair skin, her clear eyes, wild as he shouted at her frantically.
Hey, don't stand there. Get up to the deck, the lifeboat.
Boat? Oh, yes, I was just...
Wait a minute. Is anybody inside in the cabin?
Cabin? There's... No, I'm alone.
Then go on. Up those stairs. There isn't much time. Hurry.
Much time. Better go. Come along, Captain. Hastings. Mr. Hastings. Stay safe, Mr. Hastings. We got you in time. Can you hear me? I'm the ship's captain. We're on board the SS Airborne bound to Singapore. SS Airborne? That's right. Singapore. Here. Try to drink this, Mr. Hastings. That's all right.
I made it.
You sure did, Hastings.
Hastings?
There couldn't be any mistake about his identity, Captain.
Huh? Oh, no, that's who he is. He Hastings, Doctor. There's no doubt about it. His wife identified it.
Oh, could you get her to come in, Captain?
Wife? My wife? No,
No, just too bad. You're suffering from shock, Mr. Hastings. Exhaustion and severe shock.
Albert.
Would you come in, Mr. Hastings?
My husband, is he all right, Captain?
Just come in, please.
No, I don't have it.
You stop, Marty. The protest dying in your throat as you struggle up to one elbow, look toward the door. It's the same girl, isn't it? The one you faced in the companionway and shouted at. But now she's coming towards you, speaking differently, Very different.
Why, darling, I was so afraid for you, but I told them you'd pull through when I told them who you were.
What?
Doctor, she isn't delirious.
Don't worry, Mrs. Hastings.
Doc.
Yes, Mr. Hastings?
Can you leave us alone?
I'm sure.
I want to be alone with my wife.
Certainly. Captain, we'll wait out on the deck. Anything you say.
Okay. Now, you tell me what this is all about.
But, darling, you shouldn't try to talk.
Skip it. I can talk. They pitch me out. I'm okay. It's okay.
Of course you are.
My name's South. Like this or in a full dress suit. It's South. Marty South.
It's a nice name. I like it.
That's fine. You were?
Mrs. Stephen Hastings of the Shanghai Hastings. You can call me Lucille.
What about Mr. Hastings?
My husband is dead.
The one that didn't make it?
And it didn't make it.
What happened to him? How come
I don't know. Stop acting. Stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
My husband Stephen was like that. In the cabin when they first hit me around. He just sat there staring as if he welcome.
Welcome what? Chance to die?
I don't know.
You couldn't get him out.
No, I
couldn't send anybody back here.
I didn't think there was something like that happening. I couldn't.
But you've been thinking since?
Yes.
Plenty out there. Well, come on, I'm waiting.
My husband, Stephen, has some money coming to him. It's waiting for him now in Singapore. Waiting for Mr. Hastings to pick it up. Any Mr. Hastings will do. 20,000 now, 30,000 in a couple of weeks, 50,000 altogether. Half of it could be yours.
To begin with, how can you pass me off with your husband here on board? There are quite a few survivors, have there?
Nobody knew Stephen. He stayed in his cabin half the voyage. Most of the others were picked up by the police.
We'll see him in Singapore.
No, the police is heading for the United States, and not a soul in Singapore knows that.
Where's the money come from?
From an old friend in Shanghai. E.J. Galloway, former business partner of my husband. You see, E.J. made a mistake on a business deal in Singapore, and I found out about it. I told Stephen after last year. He did. He got revenge.
Take down, huh? You must have felt great giving his old pal the blackmail kit.
Well, Stephen didn't have to do that. E.J. doesn't know we're the blackmail. He thinks Stephen is with go-between. Stephen to pick up the money in Singapore and make the payoff for it to a man who's never seen it. You see, Singapore is where the blackmailer lives.
Nice guy, your husband.
He was, isn't that right? But weak, terribly weak. You know, he almost got sick sometimes just thinking about it. About blackmailing the very thing.
And why'd he go ahead with it?
He liked me.
Why?
Oh, you don't know. I can be quite appealing.
Maybe. The guys like Stephen Hastings.
But not guys like Marty South.
You guessed it.
We'll see. If you get lonesome for me, darling. Stephen. Just tell that.
That's all, Marty, and then she's gone. Leaving me to think it over. But you know her kind. Lucille's a man trap. You figure she'll be back soon to try to help you make up your mind. But that's where you make a mistake, isn't it, Marty? She lets you rest and think. At first you find yourself strangely curious. Then you think some more and you decide not to say anything to them about her husband, Stephen Hastings. Money is an important item to you, too, isn't it, Marty? Yes. Half a day out of Singapore, you can't stand it anymore. You call the doctor and send for her.
Just figuring out how wonderful.
I'm going better than that.
Oh?
You don't look as if you don't know why.
Yes, we do. And how nice when you say it.
Well, I just want to know what I decide.
I know.
Yeah?
You like money. No, I think you like me.
You hit it with the first part. But get this. I know what I'm going into. It includes you only because you're necessary to my immediate prosperity.
I'm very necessary, darling.
Suppose you're having a husband, Stephen. Okay, I'll keep my eye out for you, all right?
Hey, I knew you would.
You're pretty smart, yeah. But here's something you don't know. Your husband made a big mistake when he fell in love with you. I'm not going to make the same mistake. I can't afford it.
Oh?
I never let love interfere with my plan. Or business.
Everything all right, Mr. Hastings?
Huh?
Oh, yes, fine, Doctor. Isn't it, dear?
I guess so.
Sure it is. And don't worry, darling. Go feel better. Everything is going to be so much better.
This being the first program in March, I'm reminded of that old saying, in like a lion, out like a lamb. With Signal gasoline, it's just the other way around. It goes into your car as a clear liquid, innocent looking as a lamb. But once inside your engine, it generates the power of a lion. However, while Signal's power may be likened to that of a lion, you'll find your car's appetite for Signal gasoline is gratifyingly small. After all, gasoline that's engineered to help your engine run as efficiently as today's Signal naturally saves gas while you drive, saves with quick starting, saves with smooth pickup free from balking or hesitation, saves with full power that gets you into high gear fast, helps you stay there with a minimum of shifting on hills or in traffic. And of course, the more gasoline you save, the more mileage you enjoy, which explains Signal's good mileage. And the reason we say mileage and performance go hand in hand. To get both, get Signal, the famous Go Farther gasoline.
Decision, didn't you, Marty, about Lucille Hastings and the money waiting for Stephen Hastings in Singapore. That day aboard ship, when she suddenly thrust opportunity into your hands by asking you to pose as her dead husband, Stephen Hastings. But there's another thing you've decided on, and that's more important than anything else. You're not going to make the same mistake he did, are you, Marty? No, you're not going to fall in love with Lucille, because that doesn't fit in with your plans at all. Money is still the most important thing, isn't it? Even though you don't have very much of it at the moment, and you've never let a woman interfere, you've never let your heart rule your head where money is concerned. The first night in Singapore, the two of you moved easily around the dance floor of the Port Plaza Hotel, seemingly the very devoted married couple, Mr. and Mrs. Stephen Hastings.
You dance well, dear.
Stephen learned his dance better?
Much better.
Maybe the poor guy was tired. He had a right to be.
I think we should stop talking about that.
Suits me. Come on back to the table. Let's talk about when you go to work.
All right.
Your chair?
Thank you.
Now.
Let's see. I think we'd best wait a day or two. You can go there Wednesday for the first payment. The second will be ready in a couple of weeks. E.J. couldn't raise it all at once.
Where do I go?
Well, I'll have to look at E.J.'s letter again for the exact address. It's a little tailor shop somewhere on Ponderosa Street.
You don't have to look again. Not with that memory. It's a tailor shop. But why Wednesday?
No reason. I just think it's there. All right.
Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't get all this mystery.
There isn't any mystery.
If Galloway stood still for a 50-grand shakedown, why didn't he just give it to you? Send it to you direct? Why all this movie stuff?
This is my idea, not his. You see, in case E.J. couldn't raise the money, or changed his mind, or decided to talk with the authorities, that'd be much better for me if I was far away.
With me, for the fall guy, if anything goes wrong here.
Nothing can go wrong here. There's no crime in having your coat closed.
What do I do when I get to this tailor shop Wednesday?
As you said, you just have your coat closed. You can wait for it again. Tell them you're Mr. Hastings.
What if they want proof?
They can call the hotel and ask Mrs. Hastings. But they won't. Oh, relax, darling.
Sorry, I can't relax. Not until I've had my coat pressed.
Good morning, sir.
I want to get this coat pressed. I'll wait for the name's Hastings.
Oh, yes. And you're staying...
The Port Plaza. Why?
Nothing, Mr. Hastings. Just curious.
If you were going to call or anything, my wife isn't there. She went shopping.
No, Mr. Hastings. Your coat, please. I'll have it for you right away.
Good. You watch the proprietor of the little tailor shop as he takes your coat, moves off toward the back of the establishment. You look around nervously, ready to run for it if anything goes wrong. But nothing does now. He's back in a matter of minutes, isn't he? Handing the newly pressed coat across the counter. You pay him and slip it on. Feel the bulge of a heavy envelope in the inside pocket.
Satisfactory, sir?
I think so. Thanks.
Will you be dropping in again?
Yeah.
Perhaps if you'd call the day before.
Call. Okay.
We'll give you quick service, sir. Good morning.
Half a block away, you open the envelope and look inside. It's there, isn't it now? $20,000. You smile as you put it away. But there's still another payoff, another $30,000. It would be stupid of you to walk out now, wouldn't it? Then your pulse quickens and you glance back. You're certain someone's following you, aren't you, Marty? And you realize that Lucille is still sinking as fast as ever. But you guessed you might pick up the money a day early, not wait until then. You turn, hurry down the street on your way back to the hotel.
You don't have to knock the door down. My own husband. What'll the neighbors think?
Never mind. Inside.
That's all the excitement.
What kind of a double cross is this? You had me followed, didn't you?
Did I?
The fat guy in a white suit. You going to tell me what's going on?
When you calm down, you might tell me.
Well, I went there. It's like you said.
The tailor shop?
Yeah. Went through the whole routine.
Didn't they give you the money?
That's not the beef, Lucille. I'm talking about the guy who picked me up on the way out. One of your pals, huh? A high-powered insurance policy.
You're not making sense, darling. If somebody followed you, it's because you're in Singapore. Stay out of the alleys, darling, in rough neighborhoods. This is a big, bad city.
Wish I could buy that.
You can buy anything, Mr. Hastings. How much you get?
20,000. Yeah, it's in the envelope.
Pretty, isn't it? Darling.
Yeah?
Speaking of double crosses, I thought I told you not to go to the tailor shop until Wednesday. It's only Tuesday. All right, I'll forgive you this time.
Will you?
I'll try. Oh. What are you thinking?
Something pretty foolish. But sometimes you'd really like to level.
Darling, put your arms around me.
What, so I can hold on to the sleigh ride?
I wouldn't take you on a sleigh ride, wouldn't you?
You'd take anybody on you.
Marty.
Too bad it's not for keeps, Lucille. Tomorrow it could be a knife in my back.
Well, what if you want me to say it, but I don't know.
Your mind is spinning as you leave her, Marty. You're afraid, aren't you? Because the one thing you've tried to guard against is happening. Slowly, surely, you're falling for her. And you know what it can mean. You don't do anything about it the next day or in the days that follow. Just go along, trying to keep your head above water. Then one night, as you walk alone through the streets of Singapore, you catch sight of him again, the man she's had following you. Hurry forward, turn into an alley, and stop. And wait. Here I am, mister. What do you want?
Just a moment, Mr. Hastings. I just wanted to talk it over.
Talk what over?
Why, the deal. I thought maybe you'd changed your mind the way you've been acting, avoiding me.
Of course, this is a crazy setup.
Oh?
I naturally thought you were going to meet me here when you got in last week and set it all up.
Naturally, but... Well, I almost forgot what you looked like.
You didn't know what I looked like. You never saw me before. You made the deal with the man I worked for, remember?
I think you'd better keep talking, Mr.
Gray is good enough. Mr. Gray.
Might be.
Oh, I don't blame you for being careful, Mr. Hastings. Odd deal like this. But how does this sound to you? You take your wife to the Red Angel Cafe tomorrow night. Just casually have dinner with her, the last one, then stroll out on the terrace.
Terrace?
Yes. Hardly anyone ever there. Just give me a chance to get lined up and then light her cigarette. The match will give me a target, an easy one.
What do you know? Stephen.
It hit you suddenly. Stephen Hastings, the weakling. He'd actually set up a plan to kill her at the end of the voyage. A plan that he was too weak to go through with. Perfect, isn't it? You can get rid of Lucille tomorrow night. And a few days later, you can drop around to the tailor shop, pick up the rest of the money, and leave town. But you're not sure that this is the way you want it to be, are you? Not even for $50,000.
What is the matter, Mr. Hastings? You haven't changed your mind.
Changed my mind? Well, I would like a little more time to think it over.
I've been doing some thinking. I want the $5,000 you agreed on, Mr. Hastings.
5,000. Okay, we'll get it.
Yes. Please leave it in your hotel box. Small, new bill.
Yes, sure. It's great.
Yes?
If the money's in the box, tomorrow night, you'll see us, my wife and me, at the Red Angel Cafe.
On the terrace?
Yes. I'm to light the cigarette.
That is right, Mr. Hastings. And take your time thinking it over. It's quite a decision for a man to make. In your position, I don't blame you. You sleep on it. I don't mind waiting a little longer.
And you do think it over, don't you, Mark? All night and all the next day. It's the hardest decision you've ever had to make. You remember Lucille's beauty, her lovely voice, the fun you've had together during the little time you've known her, pleasant times you might have in the future. Then you remember her husband, Stephen, how she persuaded him to blackmail his best friend, how callous she was about her husband's death after the shipwreck. You recall how she lied to you at the time of the shipwreck when you asked her if there was anyone else in the cabin. And that lie made certain your husband's death. You also remember something else. The 20,000 she had, and the 30,000 she's expecting in a few days. And that evening...
Darling, how did you know about this place?
The Red Angel?
Mm-hmm.
I heard somebody mention it. Like it?
Very much. And I like you for bringing me.
Lucille,
You want to talk? Well, come on.
Where are we going?
Out on the terrace.
Oh, but... Oh, okay. Terrace.
You can see the lights in the harbor. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Marty, you were going to tell me something, is that?
Oh, yeah, I was.
I think I know what it is. You know, Marty, you're not like Stephen, boy. You're anything but weak. Except when it comes to putting this sort of thing into use. Oh, give me a cigarette, darling.
What?
I said, give me a cigarette. Anything wrong with that?
No. Nothing wrong. Here you are.
Thank you, Marty. You know, just the way you're looking at me tells me something. You do love me, don't you?
I don't know. Do I?
Would you give me a light?
You're really beautiful, Lucille.
Marty.
Something I'll never forget.
Yes. As you like.
Thank you, darling.
Because the past several months of cold weather have been particularly tough on car batteries, here is some news that's worth remembering. There's now available an improved type battery which is not only much more powerful, but lasts far longer. I'm referring to the new Signal Deluxe battery, available only at Signal service stations. Unlike ordinary batteries, which may be guaranteed for 12 or 18 months, Signal Deluxe batteries are guaranteed a full 30 months on a service basis. Also, Signal Deluxe batteries deliver up to 35% more power to give you quick, dependable starting and to take care of the many electrical gadgets on modern cars. The secret of this superior performance in Signal Deluxe batteries is their superior construction, which includes the latest micro-porous all-rubber separators, plus an improved design all-rubber case, which doesn't need water as often. When you take into account the generous trade-in allowance Signal dealers are now giving for old batteries, plus their convenient credit terms, you can see why more new batteries at the same station where they fill up with the famous Go Farther gasoline at Signal stations.
It was like a whirlpool, the shipwreck, the swirling waters. Marty South, fighting his way through the sea, awakened to find a new life and wealth placed in his hands by Lucille Hastings. But somehow, in the police station at Singapore, that part of the story was a little concerned as the arresting officers huddled around the man sitting under the glaring white light.
Come on, Gray. We know you did it.
No.
You've been followed since you asked for that money in Hastings' hotel box. The clerk didn't like your look.
And Mr. Hastings gave me the money. He left it for me.
What was it for? The killing?
No.
Gray, you were seen firing the gun. How do you think we arrested you so quickly?
Oh, I did it. But it was Hastings' idea. That's what the money was for.
But why did
I guess Hastings was just tired of everything. He was a weakling. Suicide's been on his mind for months, only he didn't have the nerve. So he hired us, me, to do it for him.
But why his wife?
Oh, how do I know? He was crazy about her, I guess. Didn't want anyone else to have her. That's the only reason I can think of why Hastings set up this deal. So they'd both die together.
Let that whistle be your signal for the Signal Oil program, The Whistler, each Sunday night at the same time. Signal has asked me to remind you that today the Red Cross must not only be prepared to save lives and relieve suffering in any disaster that may occur anywhere in this country. In addition, it must provide blood and other needed help for our GIs overseas. Good reason why this year the Red Cross needs more of us to help, and more help from each of us. Featured in tonight's story were Bill Foreman as the Whistler, Jack Moyles, Betty Lou Gerson, Ted Von Elf, Raymond Burr, and Byron Kane. The Whistler was produced and directed by George W. Allen. The story by Joel Malone. Music by Wilbur Hatch. And was transmitted overseas by the Armed Forces Radio Service. The Whistler was entirely fictional, and all characters portrayed on The Whistler are also fictional. Any similarity of names or resemblance to persons living or dead is purely coincidental. Remember to tune in at this same time next Sunday when the Signal Oil Company will bring you another strange story by The Whistler. Marvin Miller speaking for the Signal Oil Company. Stay tuned now for our Miss Brooks, starring Eve Arden, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is the CBS Radio Network.
is Orson Welles, speaking from London. The Black Museum. Here in the grim stone structure on the Thames which houses Scotland Yard is a warehouse of homicide. A warehouse where a parchment lampshade, an automobile tire, a canvas tarpaulin, and an umbrella all are touched by murder. And here's a dictionary. It's a familiar object. French into English, English into French. Every high school student knows what these books are like. Word here, phrase there, merci, thank you, merci. And of course, a use common to most young men in countries not their own.
Je t'aime. Je t'aime.
Oh, you sound so passionate, Jules. What does that mean?
In the little book, one moment, je t'aime and I love you.
Well, today the dictionary can be seen in the Black Museum.
From the annals of the Criminal Investigation Department of the London Police, we bring you the dramatic stories of the crimes recorded by the objects in Scotland Yard's Gallery of Death, the Black Museum.
Here we are in the Black Museum. Scotland Yard Museum of Murder. Not a very pleasant place, but it's interesting. Yes, here lies death. The people who conceived this place must have wished to raise a memorial to death. And here, collected under one roof, are the mementos of the murders from over 100 years. These are darts, a feathered dart, made for pleasure, for laughter and friendly terror. This tiny metal tip was dipped in cyanide. A twist of a wrist, flick of an elbow, a dartboard missed. The spectator was scratched. It was an accident. An accident? No, it was murder. Ah, here we are, the dictionary. You want the English for a French word? Here it is, or the French for a word in English. It's here also. Nice idea. All in one book. Great convenience. Particularly for Jules Gamache, who had a bit of trouble expressing himself to Betty Brown on the beach in southern France. One warm and sunny afternoon.
Je t'aime. Je t'aime.
Oh, you sound so passionate, Jules. What's that mean?
In the little book, one moment, je t'aime, oui, I love you.
Right, Jules. And me, a married woman?
There it was. Love out of the dictionary in the summer in southern France. Of course, this was in 1923. That date's important simply because radio and broadcasting were just beginning. And Jules Gamache was something of an electrical engineer. In fact, he was the only man in the little French seaside town who was able to bring music out of the air.
Luc Gallen, how you say in anglais? De Cat's Whisker. So. Maintenant, mes amis, écoutez.
Oh, Jules. That really is music in his funny rubber ear mouth.
Huh?
Why, Jules, you are bright, aren't you?
I love you. I must have you now, today. Parbleu, always.
Oh, Jules.
A clever Frenchman who knew his way about with women. An Englishwoman vacationing in France. Why was she there?
Oh, Jules, if I were a better manager, if we'd be better to be in, well, I'd never have had the breakdown. I'd never have come to France, and I'd never have met you, and even your mom was slept.
Oh, so that was it. But all such items come to an end someday. And summer comes to an end. At least that's the correct calculation. That's the way Betty calculated. Without thinking of her, Jules.
Jules?
Oui, ma chérie?
I have to go home.
Oui. Je viens. I come also.
Oh, Jules, that's impossible.
There were the usual sighs and protestations, of course. It was just a brief interlude that he was a trifle saddened to let it go. After all, when a woman is crowding 40... She went home anyway to Sussex, to the Binnacle Inn, to security of sorts, and to her husband, Al.
Business hasn't been too bad while you were away, Bessie. All the rooms were let this week, and the bar trade was fine.
I dare say you did all right by the bar.
The landlord's got to be social, girl. Otherwise his customers go somewhere else.
There's a difference, Alf, between social and drunk.
Here, now, none of that. I take a drop now and then, but I don't get drunk. Well, another customer. Business is picking up, and on the hotel side at that.
Oh.
How can I help you, sir?
I have, how you say, one moment, please. I will find the word. Oui, I have come to stay.
What do you know? A froggy. Pleased to have you, monsieur. And may I ask how you found us?
Monsieur Brown, the merveilleuse Madame Brown is the recommendation for your so select hotel. Is it not so that we have met in Provence, Madame?
The little Frenchman must have been mad. Mad with love. Or just a little touched in the head. In any case, he'd come just as he said, to stay. As he explained it to Al Brown.
I am, how you say, an inventor. I have much great ideas.
Yes, sure, Gamma, sure. But do you make any money?
To make money? Je ne comprends pas.
Money, shillings, francs.
Ah, oui, beaucoup d'argent. Oh, right now I wait from Canada. Much money.
And what do you invent to get all this beaucoup money?
The wireless. I am in the wireless, very much interested.
Well, monsieur, if you can get music out of the air, maybe you can get some money out of the same place to pay what you owe us.
Huh?
You've been here a month now, and we haven't seen a shilling on your board bill.
Board bill? Comment?
There was another conversation shortly thereafter on the same subject, if not exactly on the same polite level.
Look, Bessie, he's your friend. We've got to have some money.
How can I ask him for money, even if he is our friend?
Yours, not mine. He doesn't take walks with me every afternoon.
Alf Brown, are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting, dearie. I'm telling you. Get some money out of him or out he goes. You're supposed to be the business head in this family. All right. Tend to business here.
Well, you never talked to me like this before.
It was the first time for everything, they say. For the first time, Al was in the driver's seat, and he knew it. So did Betty know it. On one of their afternoon walks, she said as much to Jules.
Jules?
Oui, ma chérie?
I suspect.
He will do nothing, jamais.
He's after me.
Huh?
To get money from you. What are you laughing at? I'm telling you that Alf will be real nasty. And he'd throw us both out. And you without a penny. Well, it's not funny. He holds the whip hand. Don't you understand?
Oui, one moment.
Oh, Jules. Not that little book again.
Oui, certainement, le petit livre. Ici, I have it. Like an Englishman, so... one may steal his wife, but not owe to him money.
Jules was self-confident, to say the least. He behaved as if he had a plan. He said to Al,
Never fear, mon ami. In a few days, beaucoup d'argent. You like? Oui?
To Betty, he said,
Je t'aime, ma chérie. Do not fear. All will be well.
A quiet, dull New Year's morning. The routine of the inn continued, minus the overtired, oversleeping maid. After a while, the master came grumbling down the stairs.
Bessie! Bessie, where are you?
Please. I think Mr. Gamache is dozing.
Well, let him doze in his room, then.
Pardon, monsieur? Into my chambre you wish for me to go? Oui?
Oh, no need for that. Is there, Al?
Oh, so long as he's awake, I don't care, one way or another. Where's my salt? You know I can't start a day without my salt.
I know, dear. They're where you'd expect them to be, on the mantel shelf, in their regular place.
Oh, yes, I forgot. If I may disturb you, monsieur.
Oh, but of course. The chair before the fire. Very nice, oui? Très charmant. When it is so very cold outside.
Oh, thanks. Bessie, that glass is here. Where's the tablespoon and some water?
Oh, I'll get them for you. Just a moment, dear.
Jules Gamache stood in the bay window and watched the little domestic scene. Occasionally he riffled through his ever-present dictionary as if for a word to describe the events he was watching. Such inconsequential little events. Betty came trotting back from the kitchen with a tablespoon and a pitcher of water. She put them on the table alongside the salt and glass. Al measured his own dosage, poured it into the glass. Then he poured in the water. Almost mockingly, he raised his glass as if in a toast. The Frenchman standing nearby. Then down the contents of the glass.
Oh, those salts taste bitter this morning?
Yeah, they are never sweet, no?
Nothing sweet about them.
Then why complain, dear? You had more to drink than usual last night, so the salts taste more bitter than usual.
1 hour later.
Betty, get some help. Oh, it's the cramps. Oh, I can't stand it. It's awful.
Oh, Jules, get a doctor. Call the cook. Do something.
I will try. My English, it is not good. No, but I will try.
Oh, my feet, they itch. Oh, they're driving me crazy. The pain, and the itching. Oh.
Shortly thereafter, Alfie Brown was quite dead. And so the tragedy reached its climax. And playing its little part in that tragedy was a certain dictionary, which, as I told you, can be seen today in the Black Museum. Dr. Westcott, the local physician, was called at once, but far too late. Alf Brown was past help. The doctor listened gravely to the story as Betty told it to him, while Jules stood by, the very picture of solicitude.
Oh, he went so quick, Doctor. And in such agony, grabs, groans, and he said the strangest thing.
What was that, Mrs. Brown?
Well, he cried out that his feet were itching. It was almost last, and he said...
Is that right, Mr. Mills?
Oui, monsieur le docteur, vous avez raison.
Well, if you say so, it's an interesting symptom. Peculiar one, particular poison. Though how this household will come by it, I haven't the slightest idea.
Poison? But, Doctor, it was his sauce. Although he did complain that they tasted more bitter than usual.
Anything else, Mrs. Brown?
No, nothing else. Oh, I'm so upset, confused. But what poison? How?
Itching feet, bitter taste, great pain, or they all point to strychnine. But of course we won't be able to know for certain until there's been a post-mortem.
Oh, Doctor, why?
Why, I can't sign the certificate under these circumstances. I have to notify the coroner and the police.
Oh.
Now, I think our next precaution is for you to give me the bottle, the spoon, and the glass into my charge. Where are they?
Oh, I don't quite... Mr. Gamache, do you remember?
Je ne sais pas, madame. Je ne comprends pas.
Oh, come, Mrs. Brown. Now, pull yourself together. You want to catch the party who poisoned your husband, don't you?
Perhaps that was a better question than Dr. Westcott realized. It was pure rhetoric at that moment, as far as he was concerned. Of course, the widow wanted to catch the murderer. Still took a bit of concentrated prodding of Betty's memory until she said,
I know now, Doctor. I put them in the drawer of the kitchen table when I left Port Alfred for a moment to fetch some tea and soda. I thought it might help.
They found the bottle and the glass and the spoon in the kitchen table drawer. The doctor looked at them closely.
Someone's washed these thoroughly. There are still traces of water in the bottle and the glass. Mrs. Brown, I'm going to the police at once.
And Dr. Westcott went to the local police. The local police went to Scotland Yard. Betty Brown went to Jules Gamache.
You did it, Jules. I don't know how, but you did it.
Ma chérie, ma foi, impossible.
You did. You killed Alfred, and you stayed right there and watched him die.
Betty, you are most... how is it? Oui, you are most hysterical. You know I do not kill your Alfie. You must know this.
I know. I feel it in my bones. You killed him. Go away, Jules. Go away. I never want to see you again as long as I live.
Sadly, as if overwhelmed by the unpredictability of women, Jules Gamache packed his things and left the binnacle inn. But he didn't go far. Just to the next village and the next inn. There he waited and watched. Waited to hear from his beloved, now widowed, his Betty. Waited for developments in the case which the coroner's jury had labeled death at the hands of person or persons unknown. The developments were not long in coming.
My name is West, Mrs. Brown, Inspector West, Scotland Yard. My credentials.
Yes, sir.
I have a few questions, particularly concerning the disposal of the poison.
I'll try to answer them, Inspector.
Do you know who washed out the bottle and glass?
No, I'm afraid I don't. I left them in the kitchen. We were all so upset by poor Alfred's suffering. We were rather hysterical, I'm afraid.
I understand. No idea on that. I see. Tell me, Mrs. Brown, have you ever used any kind of weed killer in the garden of this inn?
No, sir. Not that I know of.
Poison for rodents, rats, mice, and so on?
No, sir. We've never been troubled by such.
Have you any idea who might have wanted to kill your husband, Mrs. Brown?
No, I haven't.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Brown. If I could...
The inspector left the front of the house, so to speak, and visited below stairs. He had a nice talk with the cook over a cup of tea.
Mrs. Davis, did you wash out the salts bottle?
No, why should I? I've got enough work. And that was New Year's Day. The maid didn't come in. I had to clean up, too. Pity, not much of a New Year in this house.
Did you notice the bottle at all?
Oh, I remember saying to Mrs. Brown that there wasn't much more than a tablespoon left in it. And perhaps she better order another bottle in case Mr. Brown was getting mad if he had none.
Now, this is important, Mrs. Davis. Can you place anyone at all, in this kitchen between the time Mrs. Brown brought the bottle in here and the time Dr. Westcott took it away?
No one but the Frenchman, sir.
Mr. Gamache.
I seem to remember, sir. I wouldn't want to get him in no trouble unless he deserved it. But he did come in here and jabber at me. And then he used his little book.
Little book?
He's got a dictionary. Looks up the French and finds the English. Right comical he is sometimes.
I see. Then he looked in his dictionary.
And he said bottle. He said something else. I didn't pay much attention. I just pointed at the kitchen drawer.
Did he take the bottle out of the drawer?
I wouldn't know, sir. For all I know, he just wanted to be sure it was in a safe place. I heard him open and close the drawer, that was all. Then he went out.
Did he have a chance to put it back?
Lots of chances. I was that busy running in and out.
That's too bad. Oh, excellent tea, Mr. Davis.
The inspector was never a man to accept loose ends. He ran all his leads to earth. This is the approach which brought him finally to where Jules Gamache was staying.
Do you accuse me, Inspector?
Merely asking routine questions, Mr. Gamache. Did you have any reason to dislike or resent Mr. Brown?
None. No, but of course not.
Have you ever had any strychnine in your possession?
No, but pourquoi? Why should I?
I can't say, sir. I can only try to fill in the blank spaces.
Someone, you see, gave Mr. Brown the opportunity to poison himself. That kind of gift is murder, Mr. Kamesh.
Naturellement.
I'm afraid I must ask you to remain in England, sir, until the case is closed.
But for me, this will be a pleasure. I assure you, Inspector, I wish to see vengeance on this murderer. I loved Mr. Brown almost as a brother.
So there it was, a smooth, blank wall for Scotland Yard to face and search for some crack somewhere. The interest in the case simmered down. Nothing was happening. Then the newspapers picked up a lead, something so fantastic the men assigned to watch the Binnacle Inn and its neighborhood hardly believed their own ears. It seems that Jules Gamache began to write letters. And to the police.
There is one suspect who has not been questioned. A man long subject to Alfred Brown's whims and temper. The pot washer at the inn, known to me only as Georges. I point the finger of suspicion. Observe, gentlemen of Scotland Yard, the comings and goings of Monsieur Arthur Brookfield, solicitor to Madame Brown. This man is in and out of her residence at all hours. Certainly not all of this can be on business.
Was jealousy entering the picture now? The letters aroused a good deal of attention once they leaked to the newspapers, as such things have a way of doing. Jules Gamache was quite pleased when the reporters swarmed about him and the photographers took his picture. Many times, in many poses. This was fame, at last, for an impoverished inventor living on his wits.
Come in, sir. You asked to see me on the Brown case.
Yes, sir. My name is Scott, sir. I'm the owner of a chemist's shop in Woking.
Not too far from the Binnacle Inn, is it?
Just far enough to miss some of the news, but this morning I saw this newspaper.
Ah, yes, our French friend. Do you know him?
He was a customer of mine a few weeks back, just before Christmas.
Go on, Mr. Scott.
He asked for strychnine.
Oh, what excuse did he give?
Oh, something about experiments in the wireless. He kept consulting a small English-French dictionary to express himself.
The wireless, yes, that's the new excuse. Although why they should think the wireless operations entail the use of poisons is beyond me. Did you sell him any?
I did. I made him sign the poison book. The name he used was Hatch.
Mr. Scott, do you think you can identify this man among a dozen others? Well, Mr. Scott?
That's he, sir. The short fellow with the bright black eyes.
Thank you, mister.
Monsieur le chemiste. Bonjour, c'est un plaisir. How you say, one moment, please. Oui, ici. It is a pleasure that we meet again.
Jules Gamache, I have a warrant for your arrest on a charge of willful murder. I must warn you that anything you may say...
Well, that's the story. And today, the dictionary which played its part in that story can be found in its place in the Black Museum.
Orson Welles will be back with you in just a moment.
Truly a strange, impassioned little man, that Jules Gamache. He's half crazy, half sane. You wonder about him. And you know, to add to the dilemma of his personality, here's one last point. While Jules was awaiting execution, he wrote another letter to Inspector West, stating that shortly after the death of Al Brown, he, Jules, saw a woman. Whether the woman was the cook or his beloved Betty, he didn't know, secrete something behind some loose bricks in the garden wall at the Binnacle Inn. Of course, the police investigated. They found 2 small jugs, one with crystalline strychnine in it, and the other with a solution of the same poison. Now, the question is, did Jules Gamache put those jugs there himself, or did one of the women? And if the latter, Why did Gamache wait until just before his death to reveal this? Was it some odd form of gallantry? Well, I guess no one will ever know. And now until next time, till we meet in the same place and I tell you another story about the Black Museum, I remain as always, obediently yours.
This is WDCB-FM, Glen Ellen.
A mysterious traveler. This is the mysterious traveler, inviting you to join me on another journey into the realm of the strange and the terrifying. I hope you will enjoy the trip, that it will thrill you a little and chill you a little. So settle back, get a good grip on your nerves, and comfortable, if you can. Where are we going? Why, we're going to visit a man who could change the soul of a human being from one body into another. In a story I call They Who Sleep. My story begins late one foggy night in a dingy little room in the slum section of a great city. The occupant of the room, a small man, white-haired, his cheeks hollow from hunger, has just admitted a visitor whom he does not know and whom he is trying to send away. An expensively dressed young woman with a heavy veil hiding her face.
But, my child, it cannot be me to whom you wish to speak. You have made some mistake.
I haven't made any mistake. Been looking for you for days. I spent a good deal of money tracing you here.
But I do not understand. Why should you wish to find me, Alexander Thomas, a penniless old man?
You did not always use the name Alexander Thomas. Once you called yourself Chadwin the Great, hypnotist beyond compare.
Chadwin the Great?
Yes.
I once used that name. But Chadwin the Great no longer exists. I am only Alexander Thomas now.
Listen to me, Chadwin. We've met before. 10 years ago, you gave a performance at the Bijou Theater.
There are so many Bijou theaters.
You asked for volunteers to be hypnotized. I came up on the stage. I and my sister Rose. You hypnotized her easily, but you could not hypnotize me.
There were so many, I cannot remember.
Oh, but you can remember this newspaper clipping.
That old story from the newspapers? Where'd you get it?
It says that you, Chadwin the Great, once performed exchanging two men's souls. By the use of secret drugs and your great powers of hypnotism, you transferred one man's soul into another man's body.
You cannot believe all the newspapers say.
You did this before witnesses. And one of the two men died. You went to prison for 5 years for manslaughter.
Why do you come here to remind an old man of his tragedies? Go, please. Leave me alone.
No, Chapman. For years I've kept this clipping, for years. Never knowing what impulse made me tear it up and save it. Until last week I found it again. And then I knew.
You speak not like a woman, but like a soul possessed by devils.
I am. So you can transfer souls from one body to another?
No, I cannot.
How much would you charge to do it again?
Do not ask that of me. I am old. I have been in prison.
How much, Chadwin? Could you put my soul into another's body for $10,000?
$10,000?
Yes. Then you could live like a man again, like a starving animal in this hovel.
Once before I tampered with the eternal laws, I paid the penalty. And so did one of those I experimented upon.
But which one, Chadwin?
The weaker one. He died. The other, the strong soul in its new body, lived.
Ah, then I am ready. When can you do it? Tomorrow night?
But, my child, why should you risk your life for that which cannot be, which was not meant to be?
Look, Chadwin, I shall raise my veil. Would you call me beautiful? Be pretty? No. I'm ugly.
I'm not ugly. Your face is strong. But if it were not twisted by bitterness...
Enough of talking. How can you know what it means to a woman to be ugly? lose the man you love to a woman you hate. Because you and she's so beautiful. Chadwin, will you do as I ask?
To help you change with one who is beautiful. To help you to be loved for just a little. My child, perhaps it is not a great wickedness to do that.
And you'll do it?
But it is only for a little while. You must understand that. For 10 days, no more. Then the laws which cannot be violated with impunity require that your soul must return to your body.
It's enough. It's all I want, Jack.
Well, I have here a small bottle. Take it. Guard it carefully. When the moment comes, she, the other, must drink it in water.
Yes. It will be easy.
She will drift off to sleep. Then you must come to me. But not here. It would not be safe.
Never mind. I'm safe. The safest in the world.
Very well. The exchange will be made, and I will see that she, in your body, slumbers dreamlessly. After 10 days, she will wake and be herself again, with no memory whatever of what has happened. And Miss
Vaughn. Helen Vaughn.
Now, Miss Vaughn, who is this beautiful one with whom you would change places?
The girl who just married the man I love. My sister, Rose Vaughn. Morning, Bessie.
Morning, Miss Helen.
With Miss Rose. She's gone downstairs yet?
Mrs. Tabor, you must learn to say now, Miss Helen.
Mrs. Tabor, then.
She's in her room, Miss Helen.
Is Mr. Tabor with her?
Yes, he is.
All right, Bessie, thank you.
Helen, is that you? We thought we heard your voice. Come in. Leonard's just leaving for the office.
Good morning, Helen. How's the best sister-in-law I ever had?
Hello, Rose. Leonard.
Darling, what's the matter?
I know. Did you hear what time this young lady got in last night? It must have been quite a party.
Leonard, I hope you aren't keeping tabs on Helen.
No, but I did hear the clock strike 3 just as her door closed. Well, me for the office. Just a goodbye kiss. Oh, gosh. I sure picked myself a beautiful wife.
Oh, run along, you silly.
Bye, Helen. Got a sisterly kiss for me?
Leonard, don't put your arms on me, please.
Well, there's sisterly affection for you.
You think she hated me? Oh, run along, Leonard. They probably need you downtown to polish off a big deal.
Yeah, they probably do that. Okay, I'm on the way. Bye, you two.
Bye, darling. Oh, Helen, you are in a mood this morning.
I just think you two carry this lovey-dovey business to a ridiculous extreme.
Helen, it's as if... Well, as you dislike seeing Leonard kiss me.
You don't have to be constantly kissing in front of other people, do you?
Helen... Oh, my dear, I didn't realize.
Didn't realize what?
Didn't realize it. Oh, Helen, darling, believe me. Someday the man will come along who will mean just as much to you as Leonard does to me. You'll find him. I'll help you find him. Listen, I'll do some parties and invite a lot of you.
Stop it, Rose. Let go of me. Don't go gushing over me, idiot.
Helen, how can you be so cruel?
Oh, stop sniffling like that.
I'm sorry, Helen, but you're always so sharp when anybody tries to be nice to you.
And you're always so nice to everybody, so soft, so sweet. I'm sorry, Rose. I always forget how these quarrel upsets you. Well, here. Drink this, Rose. There's a sedative in it. Something quite harmless. It'll soothe your nerves.
Oh, all right. Oh, nasty stuff.
Now lie down in your bed. That's it. Just a few moments now, and you'll be drifting off to slumberland, my beautiful sister.
Oh, it is quick, isn't it? It's drowsed already.
You do? And you must give in to the feeling, you hear? Don't forget.
I feel so queer. It's as though I was on a boat. A little boat.
Rose? Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes, Helen, I hear you. You seem such a long ways away. Such a long way.
Rose, you're to come to me when I call you. Do you hear? You're to sleep for a while. Then when I call, no matter where I am, you're to come to me.
Yes, I'll come to you. I'll...
Be asleep. Chadwin's is working. The rain! Come! Well, let it rain. Yes, let the skies open and drench the earth. Let the rain fall like a curtain, like a cloak to hide the rebirth of Helen Vaughn.
Leaving her sister Rose in a slumber so deep it was almost death-like, Helen Vaughn hurried to her room. There she wrote a note addressed to Rose and Leonard, explaining that she had decided suddenly to go off by herself on a trip to Mexico, and that they would probably not hear from her for some time. And she put on her hat and coat and slipped out. All day she waited in a hotel. Then when night came, picked up Chadwin the Great in a rented car and drove him through the storm into a spot well outside the city. She turned into an ancient cemetery. There she brought the car to a stop before a low building of white marble, for which ivy and moss had grown for many years. With a heavy key, she opened the massive padlock, and they entered, shutting the door behind them.
The air is almost limbless. Dank odor of a charnel house.
But where else could the living lie asleep, peaceful and undisturbed, as safely as here among the sleeping dead?
No, I will not go through.
You already have your money. You can knock that house out.
Then in heaven's name, let us be finished quickly.
Quickly, yes. The storm should hide our cemetery guards, but we must take no chances. Now, here's the flashlight I brought. I'll turn it on. Look there, Chapman. It appears as compartments this tiny stone building holds. Each compartment with its iron door, each holding in it a coffin in which lies the dust of a Vaughn.
I see them, yes. 12 of them.
This one, here on the bottom, is empty. Meant someday to hold the body of Helen Vaughn. To receive her.
No, this is madness.
Oh. See that narrow, dark compartment? So small, so quiet, so restful, so safe from disturbance. In it, the next 10 days shall rest my body. And the soul of my sister Rose.
No, there must be some other way.
None that is safe. While my body sleeps and I am absent from it, it must be where no one can find it. And here, no one ever will.
I do not like it.
Hold the light. I'll slide into it. It's quite full enough. The stone is chilly, but that's to one who is asleep. Going.
Osborne, hear me. Enter the body that awaits you here. Enter quickly and wait.
It's cold, dark, Helen.
There is nothing to fear. Sleep, my child.
Yes.
Quickly, Chadwin closed and latched the iron door of the compartment, slipped from the mausoleum, the padlock on the huge door again, and was gone. At the same time, back in the big house in the city, the frantic Leonard paced the floor, looking for some change in the condition of his wife Rose, who all day had been in a strange stupor from which nothing could arouse her.
Doesn't she look better?
Yes, I think she does.
Wait now.
Rose, darling, don't be frightened.
Leonard.
Yes, of course it's me. Who did you think it was going to be?
I don't know. I was startled. I guess I must have been dreaming.
Rose, what happened to you? Why, your voice sounds just like Helen's.
Really? At last? Perhaps I'm catching a cold.
No. Now you sound like yourself again. But for a moment, I'd have sworn it was Helen speaking. Oh, I guess I've been so worried, I'm just imagining.
Close to her. Close.
Always, Rose. Always.
Always. Yes, always. She'll never have you back. Never.
What are you saying, Rose?
I was just thinking of how much I love you. So much that I'll never let anything take you away from me. Never.
In the days that followed, Leonard found his beautiful wife, Rose, strangely changed.
You've been different somehow these last 10 days. In fact, ever since Helen went away so unexpectedly.
Have I, Leonard? How?
Well, you've been gayer, more headstrong, too. It's almost as if you quite a whole new character.
Well, perhaps I have. And how do you like this new wife of yours?
Oh, I do, and I...
Don't?
Oh, please, I don't mean it. It's just that... Well, I was so in love with the old Rose, it's a little hard to get used to the new. And all these bills that you're running up. That's not like the Rose you used to be, huh?
I do hope you're not too mad at me because...
Well, what is it this time? Another fur coat?
Worse than that. We're going to give a party.
Another? Why, that's 3 in 10 days. Rose, I forbid...
You can't blame, because I've invited everybody already.
Rose, it's so unlike you. Why, you act more like Helen than like yourself these days.
Never mind, darling. You'll get used to the change in me. In time.
Ignoring her husband's displeasure, Rose, or should I say, Helen, went ahead with her plan for a party that night. And when early in the evening, a small gray-haired man presented himself at the door and asked her, he sent word by Bessie that she would not see him.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chadwin. Miss Tabor says she cannot see you. She says she does not know anyone named Chadwin.
But it does. 10 days ago I was here. I gave you an envelope for her. It had a key in it. Oh, surely you remember?
Yes, but just the same, she says she doesn't know you. Now, please go, or I'll have to call an officer.
Did you tell her what I said? This was a tense day.
Yes. She said she had no idea what you were talking about.
All right. I'm going. I must do what I can by myself.
And while the gay party went on, miles away in the old cemetery, Chadwin the Great worked frantically with a hammer and chisel to force the padlock on the door of the mausoleum, in which, unknown to the world, a sleeping girl lay hidden.
Look, got to get it open. Won't let me into our house. Don't even talk to me. Won't let me warn her. She won't. That dog's coming this way.
There he is. Somebody trying to take into the barn mausoleum.
I must run for it. They missed me. Got to get back to town. I must warn her. She's got to know. Miss Warren, thank heaven this time you heed my message.
I won't have you coming around to the house this way, do you hear? You must never come here again.
But you do not understand. The 10 days is up tonight. Now, your time is over.
Are you trying to scare me, Chadwin? To get more money from me?
Money? No. I am just trying to tell you. It was understood 10 days only. More is not allowed.
You fool! Do you think I ever intended to give Rose's body once I did? In that narrow crypt in the tightly locked mausoleum, my body has long since died from lack of air. And Rose has died with it. But I remain alive.
So, that is what you planned. I should have guessed. But it is not so. Your body is dead. It is in a sleep so deep that it scarcely breathes. Needs no food, no water. But sometime tonight the dog will bear off, and your sister Rose will claim her body again, while you, Helen Vaughan, will wait to find yourself locked within a burial crypt.
No.
Oh, it's not true.
It is true. And you will not be asleep. You will be awake, needing air, and there will be no air.
You're just trying to frighten me.
Tonight I tried to open the tomb to save you. I was driven away by guards with dogs.
But what can I do?
Only if we can reach the tomb in time to open it can you be saved.
And we must go now. Look at the key. And we must hurry. Hurry!
There's the mausoleum, Miss Bourne. Pray heaven the guards are not waiting.
They won't be. We fooled them by leaving the car outside and walking up this back path. Now hurry, Chet.
What is it, Miss Bourne?
I don't know. For a moment, I felt so dizzy.
It's Rose. And to return to her body. We cannot waste an instant.
Hurry up. Something is pulling at me, tugging at me.
Darling, where are you?
She's speaking through her own lips.
No, Master. Go back, you hear me, Rose? Go back.
Here's the mausoleum. The key. Give me the key.
Here it is. Quickly. She's pushed at me so hard.
No.
Help me. Everything is so dark. Where are you?
Go back. Back, I say. Chedwin, have you looked out yet?
It won't unlock. It must. They put a new padlock on. Oh, dear heavens, they've changed it.
No. It's getting dark. Dark.
It's hopeless. We cannot enter.
Darling, where are you? No. We can't both be in the same body. Go back.
I'm trying.
Don't force me out.
Help me.
Go back where you were.
Help me.
Wait, Rose, wait.
Please. No, don't. Rose, you mustn't. You mustn't.
The guards, they're coming back.
Where am I? What's happened to me?
Sleep, child. Sleep a little longer and wake without memories. For with it, I can do nothing now. And the guards, they must not catch me. They must not.
There he is. We got him this time. Holy cats. It's a girl.
It's Mrs. Taylor. Asleep on the steps of her own family mausoleum.
Say, we got to get her out of here. Don't we lift her out?
Hey, wait. Did you hear something then? Like somebody calling a long ways off? Listen. Do you hear anything?
No, I can't hear anything. It's the wind. Come on, we got to phone Miss Tabor's husband. She may be sick. Come on now, no time to lose.
Rose, do you remember anything about a man named Chadwin?
Chadwin? No, I don't, Leonard.
Well, Bessie says he called several times last week to see you. The last time was the night of the party. You're sure you don't remember him?
No, Leonard. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right, darling. I just thought maybe you might have begun to remember something that happened during those times when you, weren't yourself.
It's so strange. As if my mind had been asleep the whole time. Is there something about Chadwin in the paper?
He committed suicide last night.
Oh.
His body was found near the old family mausoleum. He left a mysterious note saying he was paying for some transgression. I wondered if he could have given any clue as to how you came to leave the party so suddenly out to the cemetery. Oh, but it's all over now and not worth worrying about.
I'd remember if I could, but when I try, I become suddenly frightened and feel as if I were locked in some dark, tight place where I can't breathe.
All right, now, darling, all right. Let's forget the whole thing. Now, let's see what came in the morning mail. Maybe there's a letter from Helen. You know, it's high time we were hearing from her. She's really acting much like a sister being gone so long and I'm hiding her letting us know where she is. This is the mysterious traveler again. I'm afraid Leonard and Rose are going to have to wait a long time for a letter from Helen. In fact,
I'll be very much surprised if they ever get one. I suppose it'll never occur to them to look in the old mausoleum. In fact, since they both feel a distinct aversion to going near it, it may never be opened again. But I don't suppose that makes a difference to Helen. Now, if you were wishing you could step into somebody else's shoes, maybe what happened to Helen will make you change your mind. I knew a man once who he stole somebody else's body, only to discover when it was too late that he... Oh, you're getting off here? Well, perhaps we'll meet again soon. I take this same train every week at this same time.
You have just heard Chapter 55 of The Mysterious Traveler, a series of dramas of the strange and terrifying. In tonight's story, They Who Sleep, Philip Clark played Chadwin, Gertrude Warner played Helen, and Helen Clare played Rose. The Mysterious Traveler is written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan. Original music is played by Henry Silverne, and the entire production is under the direction of Jock McGregor. Listen next week to a tale titled
Escape Through Time.
Another tale of the Mysterious Traveler. The Mysterious Traveler is presented by WOR Mutual from the WOR Studios in New York. This is Mutual.
Strange Dr. Weird.
Good evening. Come in, won't you? Well, what's the matter? You seem a bit nervous. Perhaps the cemetery outside this house has upset you. But there are things far worse than cemeteries. For instance, being lost in a wilderness. A wilderness where death is never more than a few inches away. As in the story I want to tell you tonight. A story I call Dead Man's Paradise. My story begins in the wild and desolate swamplands near the mouth of the Mississippi River. In a small Cajun shack, all but hidden by the overhanging cypress trees, Andre Morel speaks to his son, Paul.
Paul, the sun has been up for an hour already. You must see to our traps.
Yeah, but, Father, you're ill. I don't like leaving you here alone.
I'll be all right. Now, please, tend to the traps.
Very well, Father. I'll be back just as soon as I...
Take him up, all of you. Uh-huh. Who are you? What do you want?
You'll find out soon enough, old man.
Do. Get that rifle of theirs over the fireplace.
Okay. Well, you must be the two bank robbers the radio was warning everyone about.
That's right, bright boy. Now every cop in Louisiana is looking for us. How far are we from New Orleans?
40 miles.
40 miles, huh? Well, you're taking us there in your boat.
But we lent our boat to Pierre Duval. Besides, no boat can get through swamps.
Hey, Ace, what are we going to do? We figured on sailing right through to New Orleans with no trouble at all.
We'll have to make it on foot, that's all. These Cajuns know every inch of the swamp, so bright boy here will guide us.
No, it's impossible.
Well, you must. He will kill you if you do not do as he asks.
That's right, kid. Your old man's talking sense.
But you don't know the swamps. We must travel by narrow Indian trails through bad stretches of quicksand where a single misstep means death.
It can't be that bad. Why, on my road map, this region is listed as Paradise Swamp.
Yes, but the old name, the name the Indians gave it, was Dead Man's Paradise. Because no stranger who ever entered it came out alive. There's the quicksand, pools of it, waiting to trap strangers. And there are the insects, the mosquitoes that drive men mad. There are the birds, whose shrieks sound like the screams of dying men.
Hey, listen to that. That's a lot of malarkey. Bright boy here's going to guide us, and that's that.
But I can't leave my father here alone. Can't you see he's ill?
I don't want to leave him alone any more than you do. He might talk. So I'm going to see to it that none of us have to worry about him anymore.
What do you mean?
Just this.
You've killed him.
Yeah. And that's what's going to happen to you if you don't do exactly as I tell you. Now let's get started. I want to be in New Orleans by tomorrow night.
We've been working for 7 hours now, Ace. How far do you figure we've come?
Hey, Bright Boy. How far we come since this morning?
10 miles.
10 miles? Hey, that ain't bad.
Hey, Ace, what's that?
That's just a bird, not a ghost. Pull yourself together, Duke. There's nothing to be scared of. Just trees, underbrush, and swamp pools.
Yeah, I know, but every way you turn, everything looks the same.
Yeah.
If we didn't have that Cajun kid to guide us. Hey, look, kid's trying to give us a slip.
Oh, he is he? Well, this'll teach him.
Ace, you hit him.
Yeah, I could hardly miss him at this distance. Come on. Should have kept a closer watch on him. Might have known he'd try something like this. Well, here he is.
Yeah, his head's all covered with blood. He's dead, all right.
Yeah. You never know what hit him.
Yeah, but Ace, what are we going to do now without the kid to guide us?
Well, we'll just have to go on the rest of the way by ourselves.
But how we find our way every way you turn is nothing but swamp. We can't go on without a guide.
Get hold of yourself, you fool. If you lose your head, you're done for.
Yeah, but Ace, what chance we
got? Shut up, will you? Listen to what I have to say. By keeping our eyes on the sun and doing a little figuring, we can keep going in the right direction. As for the quicksand, well, we'll just have to watch our step. Just keep saying one thing to yourself. New Orleans is only 30 miles away, and we're going to make it.
Doctor, may I comment upon the verisimilitude demonstrated by the introductory sections of your dramatic effort?
Explain yourself, young man.
Your story, its design is excellent. Such fine style and expert handling of details. And you know, Doctor, it's those very same qualities that make Adam hats so outstanding, too. That's because the designs for Adam hats are created by experts in their field. The smart styles and carefully handled detail you see in every Adam is the product of years of experience. And just as each listener will find a different shade of meaning in a story, so will every man find the shade of color he prefers in the large selection of Adam hats. Gentlemen, there's only one logical conclusion to this story about Adam hats. Buy one for yourself. An Adam hat has character. Now, back to Dr. Weird's story.
And now I'll continue my story, Dead Man's Paradise. 5 hours have passed. 5 hours of nightmare for Ace and Duke. The shadowy cypress trees and underbrush seemed to become thicker every mile they pushed on. And they were constantly forced to detour around swamp pools and lakes, ever mindful of the treacherous quicksands they must avoid.
How far do you think we've come, Ace, since we left that Cajun kid?
About 4 or 5 miles, I guess.
Well, look, the sun's going down. It'll be dark before long. What do we do now?
We'll stop pretty soon and wait for dawn. In the morning, we'll push on.
Neither of you will ever get out of these swamps alive.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, that sounded like...
You have committed murder, and you must pay.
Yes, it's the voice of that Cajun kid.
No, it can't be. I knocked him off.
It's the voice of his ghost, that's what it is.
Oh, don't be a fool.
The ones who have died in the swamp say you too must die.
Hey, you see, I told you to come back to get us.
Both of you will die in the quicksand. Only 20 feet ahead of you is a pool of quicksand.
Hey, you see, you hear that? There's quicksand ahead.
Don't be a fool, I tell you. You really think there's quicksand ahead he'd warn us? Just a trick to get us to walk in another direction where the quicksand really is.
Yes, I guess you're right.
Why, sure I am. Now keep going, straight ahead.
Okay.
We still got an hour or so until it gets too dark to travel. We got to make the most of it.
Yeah, it's just the same way you think it. Hey!
What's wrong?
I'm stuck under some quicksand. Hey, help me out. I'm sinking.
Duke, try crawling out.
I can't. It keeps sinking deeper. Hey, help me.
Oh, if I only had a rope or something. Wait till I look around.
No, it's only me.
Look, how can I help you?
It's stuck me down. It's already up to my chest. Give me a hand and pull me out, will you?
I can't do that. You'd pull me in with you.
Right, do something.
There's nothing I can do without a rope.
No, there must be. Hey, don't let me die like this. Help me, will you?
There's only one thing I can do for you, Duke. And this is it. Duke. He's dead.
Yes, he's paid for his crime. Now it is your time.
No, you may have gotten Duke, but you won't get me. You won't get me.
With an effort, Ace pulled himself together, determined not to suffer Duke's fate. Taking a bearing from the twilight rays of the sun, Ace continued on his way, cautiously scanning the ground before him. Time and time again, the voice of the Cajun boy came echoing through the swamps, mocking Ace's efforts to escape, telling him of the quicksand that lay waiting on every side.
There's no escape for you. Just ahead of you lies quicksand. And you are going to die in it.
Shut up! Shut up, you hear?
Death is waiting for you in the quicksand ahead.
Maybe this will keep you quiet.
You should have saved one bullet for yourself.
Be quiet. Be quiet, you hear? You're dead. You can't talk.
You seem confused now. Is the quicksand ahead of you? To the left? To the right? If I were you, I'd turn to the left.
Oh, trying to outsmart me, aren't you, huh? Well, you can't. I'm going straight ahead.
You're making a mistake. There's quicksand just ahead.
If it was, you wouldn't be telling me. I know better than to... I'm caught. It is quicksand. I'm sinking.
Yes. It's quicksand. And in a minute you'll sink beneath the surface. And your crimes will be paid for.
You're not dead. You're alive. I didn't kill you.
No. That bullet you fired at me only creased my scalp, knocked me unconscious. I recovered in time to trail you, get my revenge.
Oh, don't stand there. Get me out of here. I'll confess to anything. Only get me out of here.
Why should I help you? You killed my father. No! This is the same pool of quicksand that Duke died in. And now you're going to join him.
No.
You've been wandering around in circles for hours. But I knew you'd end up here.
No. Oh, don't let me die. Don't let me die.
The quicksand is up to your neck now. In a minute, it will reach your mouth. And then, it'll be all over.
Save me. I don't want to die.
No, my father didn't want to die either. But you killed him.
Help me. You must help me.
Nobody can help you now.
Don't let me die.
I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to tell you that this is the only quicksand hole in all the swamp between here and New Orleans.
If Ace had only known there was just one pool of quicksand, he might have reached New Orleans. But you see, he let his imagination run wild, envisioned death on all sides. No wonder he traveled in circles and ended up dead. I know another case where... Oh, you have to go now? Too bad. But perhaps you'll drop in on me again soon. I'm always home. Just look for the house on the other side of the cemetery. The house of Dr. Weir.